the talent, but how would they respond this season with everything that's going on in the offseason? And I think it's been their quarterback. He's been the one that's calmed the storm for the Baylor Bears, kept his head about him, and continued to execute this offense at a high level.
On second down, he's throwing again. And completing to his tight end, Sam Tecklenburg makes the catch. Just his second catch of the season for Tecklenburg, a gain of 13.
Yeah, you mentioned they haven't played. They played one game in the last 28 days. They've had some time to come up with some wrinkles. That time, an unbalanced set. They flex a tackle way outside and hit the tight end for a big hit.
And they're passing again on first down. Here's Ismail Zamora. And Zamora makes the grab. And he's close to another first down.
A couple of changes on this Texas defense. You see Tim Cole there, the senior. He's starting in place of Malik Jefferson, much touted Mike linebacker for this Texas team. Charlie Strong has not been impressed with the way that he's performed, giving Cole a shot.
2nd and 2, they hand it off to Shock Linwood. And Linwood has first down yardage, then he's pushed back. Chris Boyd came up from his corner position to make the tackle.
And I like that by Charlie Strong. You know, Malik Jefferson was supposed to be the leader of this defense as a true sophomore this year, and he hasn't played up to the standard. So it's the first time we've seen Tim Cole start in his place. Send a message, not only to Malik Jefferson, but this entire team that you need to be accountable. That's a big reason why this Texas team has not won a game.
Texas lost last Saturday, 24-21 at Kansas State. Baylor played 2 weeks ago, blew out Kansas 49-7. Throwing again, too high for Zamora that time, was nearly intercepted.
Talked about Seth Russell coming in. You know, he had to stay. He had to wait behind Nick Florence, behind Bryce Petty. But he didn't leave. He stayed, and now he's persevering. That's a big key. I think he's got to throw the ball deep. This Texas secondary has been susceptible. And then be smart when he does this right here.
Wow, what a gap for him. Plenty of running room, and he might go. Look at this. Seth Russell takes off for a 50-yard run. Dylan Haynes looked like he had a chance to bring him down, couldn't make the stop, and that's how the score opens up here today. A 50-yard touchdown by Seth Russell.
We talked about him being smart when he runs the football. He got injured last year in the Iowa State game, that neck, and you know that you want to keep him healthy. That's the big key for Baylor. But when he gets to that second level, he's got 4 or 5 speed, Steve. You can't catch him from behind.
Seth Russell's 6th rushing touchdown of the season. 6 plays, 75 yards, a minute 6, and a 50-yard run. Simply amazing for Baylor.
You have so much speed on the outside. You can run like this. Here's a tight end. Take a look at this block. He's going to kind of arc out here and get the block on the outside. He bluffs Nashawn Hughes right there, and then he gets the block on the second level. It's just great design. And you mentioned all that time to prepare. You give Kendall Briles, one of the best offensive minds in college football, that much time. He's going to have a couple different looks in the first drive.
Hey, we knew Baylor was explosive and they could score quickly, and of course that's the worst possible start for Texas. You know, they're looking to cling on to any kind of hope, and to kick off the football that quickly trail 7-0.
It's not totally unpredictable though, right? I mean, they have struggled defensively. Charlie Strong knows that. They have to. Their confidence is a big word around here this week. Charlie Strong talked about it. You know, our guys, if something bad happens, they go in the tank so fast. Well, your defense just went in the tank on the first drive, so maybe your offense needs to be able to pull you out of it.
Texas will get the football. Brandon Jones, the true freshman, will try to get a return and does some nice work out to the 24-yard line. Here's Shane Buechele, the starting quarterback for Texas. Some players got together, and there's a flag. We would not be surprised to see these two squads get together again. They had a little visit on the Texas sideline last season.
Yeah, they got into it last year in the upset. That was a big upset for Charlie Strong.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct by number 19 of the receiving team. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it's first down.
Brandon Jones.
On the sideline, they're holding his leg up right there. And That's, you know, let that one go, right? Let that one go. Although you would expect that this officiating crew is a little bit heightened sense of this because of what happened.
Let's nip this in the bud, right?
Tough break, though, for Texas offensively. Backed up inside their 15.
Yep, got a decent return. And now we'll start at their own 12. And Bouchel will hand off to Deontay Foreman. And he'll pound his way out ahead for 5 or so. Deontay Foreman has gone over 100 yards in 8 straight games. That's the longest active streak in the country. The Texas record is 11 straight, held by the great Earl Campbell back in 1977. And it's Foreman again, sliding forward. We'll see if they give him the first down on that.
You know, watching Deontay Foreman on tape last couple of weeks, really starting to like what this kid brings to the table. He's 6'1", 250 pounds, big enough to slam it in between the tackles. But the most impressive thing about this young man, he's taken over a leadership role of this team. And he, coming into this season, didn't even know if he was going to be the back.
Yeah, you saw Bouchel give him a quick glance on 3rd and 2. It's Foreman following his blockers, and there clearly has the first down yardage, and that'll move the chains. Trayvon Blanchard made the stop for Baylor. There you see the Foreman numbers. They can run the football. You would think that would add up to more victories, but it has. Here's Bouchel. Good pocket to pass out of. Able to throw and complete. Deontay Foreman makes the tackle.
Yeah, great timing from Shane Bouchel. That's kind of jumped off the tape watching him. He's not afraid to let it go with timing and rhythm, throwing that ball before Foreman came out of his break. You know, today, a big key, these wide receivers need to help their quarterback. They dropped 3 touchdowns last week.
And off it's Foreman going through. And Orion Stewart making the stop. Todd.
This is what they have to do if you're the Longhorns. You've got to be able to take advantage of a defensive front for Baylor that's undersized. They're in a 3-man front. Lost Andrew Billings, their defensive tackle, who's a stud to the NFL a year ago. They've got to pound away and try to wear down this Baylor D.
2nd down and 4. A Baylor defense that is undersized, and that might be a compliment as Foreman stumbles forward. It's Avion Edwards making the tackle.
I agree with Todd there. You know, if you're Baylor defensively and Phil Bennett, their defensive coordinator, you know they want to get the ball to Deontay Foreman. So why not put 6, 7 guys at times inside the box and make Shane Bouchel beat you on the outside? That's what they're doing as an adjustment here after the 4th or 5th play in this drive.
3rd and 1 upcoming. Texas trying to put something together here. Approaching midfield. Hand off to Foreman. First down yardage and then some. And lunges forward to about the 40-yard line. Gain of 13 there.
And that time you get the 7th guy in the box, Orion Stewart, but Deontay Foreman just makes a miss. I mean, that's a mismatch in Texas' favor.
Foreman so far, 6 carries for 35 yards. Now the quick strike down the sideline. Caught. Touchdown on Matthew Foreman. Right back at you. Texas on the board. Gain of 40 on the play.
Armani Foreman, the twin brother of Deontay Foreman, working a 1-2 punch here pretty good. This is the same look that Armani Foreman dropped last week against Kansas State. They could have been in that game had he made that play. He's been thinking about it for 6-7 days now, and he comes back, gets a big play for his quarterback.
Trent Domain is the kicker. Extra points have been a bit of an issue. Not there. Not now. Each team has had 1 possession. Baylor had a 50-yard touchdown run. Texas has a 40-yard scoring strike. 11:19 to play in the first quarter. We're all tied up. 7-all in Austin.
Carmex Drive What's Possible update. Number 6 Ohio State looking to bounce back from their loss last week, and this is a good start on their first possession. Mike Weber completes the first opening drive tee for the Buckeyes this year. 9 plays, 94 yards. Ohio State up 7-0 over on ESPN. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
Grace, I know you're all about Northwestern. You give them a shot today?
Yeah, actually I do. I think that defense is playing better, but Clayton Thorson, I mean, going into a hostile environment in Columbus, one of the tougher places to play in college football, he's got to have a big game.
Cassie, they'll keep you posted all afternoon on ABC on everything going on around this great country of ours. 7 all. Each team is out of possession. We'll see what Seth Russell can do on possession number 2. Batted up in the air, and it is intercepted. Off the batted ball, P.J. Locke picked it up out of thin air.
Chris Boyd.
Eligible receiver downfield, number 68 of the offense. The penalties decline, and it's first down.
Chris Boyd has been beaten a ton this season, and they needed to make a play defensively early. He gets a hand in there on the route. He's playing corner, jumps the slant right there, and just gets enough of this ball. Huge turnover for Texas on defense.
I think this is the big key. You've got to be able to play tight coverage on the outside and to be aggressive when the ball's in the air. That's a great job in terms of his eyes, making a quick read, and being in position to make that play.
You know, Todd, they got 3 turnovers in the game last week against Kansas State, and their offense was not able to get a single point. They've got to convert.
On first down, Deontay Foreman threw everyone. Untouched. Touchdown, Texas for 37 yards.
Right up the gut. We had questions, right? We had questions about Baylor defensively. Without Andrew Billings, without Sean Oakman, no Jamal Palmer. Would they be able to stop this rush attack from Deontay Foreman in between the tackles? And that's right where Texas has attacked.
Zach Shackelford, the center, making a key block there. Texas answers the 50-yard touchdown run from Russell with 2 touchdowns of their own. Here's Trent Domain, puts it through. 14-7, Texas.
Great block here by Andrew Beck, and a block down here with both offensive linemen. Shackelford takes on the defensive lineman. You get to the second level, and Orion Stewart's got to be a better player for Baylor defensively if they're going to be able to stop this rush attack.
Tell you what, the more I watch Freeman, the more impressed I am. Just a complete player. Vision, quickness, 249 pounds at 6'1", and he's able to make quick cuts. He also catches the ball well, and he might be the best back in the country in terms of pass protection. So Foreman, in my mind, I know Texas has struggled this season, but he's emerging as one of the premier players at that position in college football.
And he's a great kid too, right, Ty? We talked to him last night. Very humble, you know, and I don't think that he anticipated needing to take more of a leadership role on this team. But, you know, they've had some players-only meetings this year, and he's been one of the first guys to step up and talk.
Mitchell Becker will kick it out of the end zone again. We'll get another look at that Baylor offense. But so far, look at the Foreman brothers, what they're doing. Armani and Dante rushing and receiving. Family's got to be very proud.
Oh yeah, well, and really Amonte was the prize recruit, and Deontay kind of came along with him. But certainly, you know, one of the things that really stuck out to me about Deontay is he had to earn everything he got. He wasn't one of these big-time 5-star recruits that Texas gets a lot of. And I think you can see that he wants it. He works for it. He's going to fight, scratch, and claw for it. Texas needs more of that on their entire team.
Russell off the play fake, throwing down the seam, has a man. It's Pooh Strickland. And Strickland on the huge gain. And the passing game goes right back to work for Baylor.
Yeah, they got stunned. They got a linebacker on Pooh Strickland. And that was just a formation adjustment by Baylor, getting a wide receiver on a linebacker for a big play.
And we go quick again. Get used to this. That gain to Pooh was for 45. That's Shock Linwood, the ball carrier, for a few.
The thing we've seen from Baylor so far in these first 2 drives is they have come out with some funky formations, right? That was trips into the boundary that they got Pooh Strickland matched up. We've had a tackle, offensive tackle, detached throw to an inside tight end. A lot of different stuff from Kendall Brown.
Handoff. Linwood short of the first down. Charles O'Menahue made the stop there. Bring up a 30 short.
You see Kendall Browse. Done such a great job. You know, I mean, think of the emotion that he's gone through this season with his dad. Jim Grobe came in. You know, Jim Grobe and Art Browse have known each other for a long time, and I think Jim Grubb did a great job of talking with Kendall Briles about, listen, I'm here to help you. I'm not going to change what you want to do. Let me help you, and Kendall's done that.
3rd and 2. Linwood able to tumble forward for the first down. Malik Jefferson undercut him.
You see Malik Jefferson now out there. We'll see if the message was sent from Charlie Strong. That was a great example right there, Steve, right? 3rd down, have a chance to get a negative play, tackle for loss, and you miss the tackle, give up the first down.
That has been an issue. Russell fired. The defender slipped down. It's Zamora. Got there. Touchdown is the signal from the official. Ishmael Zamora. Do a little dance.
Ishmael Zamora is 6'4", 215 pounds, and Holton Hill is in coverage. Let's see if he pushes off here, Steve. Gets that left arm and pushes off on Holton Hill. That could have easily been called pass interference on the offense.
So you're saying he didn't slip down then?
It didn't look like it to me. Looked like that elbow went down. The question is, was the ball across the goal line? This will be a good look at it.
The elbow down. Was a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
I think that's going to be short of the goal line there. Yeah, I think that could have been pass interference. But he's such a big receiver as well. You know, you got to call it fair both ways.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of offensive PI, but it's warranted at times. Cooper Castleberry, very cool name, by the way, is our referee today. You know his nickname? CC.
Oh, of course.
Just a hunch.
Of course it is. How fast was that response from Baylor?
Yes.
I mean, you think, you know, you have a turnover and Texas goes right up the gut, and you think they're going to, you know, body blows are going to take an effect, but they go right back down.
This has the makings of whoever has the last ball, the last possession, win this game. If it stands, it's 4 touchdowns in the first 5.5 minutes. Beautiful.
Ishimura has really emerged as the opposite, the balanced receiver on the other side of Katie Cannon. We've talked about Katie Cannon for a long time. He kind of taken over the mantle from Corey Coleman, now gone to the NFL. But they need balance on both sides, and Ishimura is a different kind of receiver, I think, than Baylor's had with his size. He's not the fastest on the team, but he's become reliable, and he's become reliable in short spaces.
Zamora goes 6'4", 215 pounds. He missed the first 3 games of the season for a violation of team rules. Taking a long time to look at this, Grease.
Yeah, you see the elbow down, and I just think that ball is short of the plane. But again, the ruling on the field was a touchdown.
Need some conclusive evidence. Do we have it?
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
It's a 20-yard pass play for the score. Russell to Zamora. 4 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes and 34 seconds.
Yep. We already have more points today, fellas, than we did in the entire game last week with Wisconsin and Iowa. And 4 minutes in. 5 minutes.
Here's Chris Callahan. And he will add the extra point. 14 all. Each team has had 2 possessions. Each team has 2 touchdowns. You're not going anywhere. Who are you kidding?
College football presented by K Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And in part by Ford. We go further so you can.
Bevo 15 as he made his way to the stadium from his home at Sunrise Ranch in Liberty Hill, Texas. At 21 months old, the youngest Bevo in the 100-year-old tradition.
You know he has a police escort when he goes to the stadium?
Just like you, Grease.
No. McShay and I were in the car trying to get to the stadium today, and here comes the police and the escort and all that, and sure enough, it's Bevo. I said, well, everybody stop and let Bevo go first.
A-list celebrity here in Austin. Red carpet, I'm sure. Or burnt orange carpet, I'm sure. Drew Galitz will kick it away. Ja'Cory Warwick on the return. And Warwick, pretty good return. Out to the 34-yard line. Return of 31 on the kickoff. I mentioned Baylor. I said both teams had 2 possessions. Baylor actually had 3 possessions.
Yeah, turnover.
1 play, and they threw the interception. So a quick possession it was. And quick strike offense we expect from both. There is an injured player on the field.
I did not see who that was on the kickoff coverage, but as we know, that's one of the most dangerous plays in football is covering kicks, running full speed down the field. Thinking it might be Graylin Arnold, and if it is, which we do think it is, you know, he was starting at the corner position for Kedrick Vaughns. See what happens. He's going to make the tackle.
It's 4 and white.
Yep. It's kind of awkward. Anytime you see that head go back and that neck in that position, you just hope that it's not something serious.
True freshman, got his first career start in the last game, started again today. While he is attended to, we'll step out. Tied at 14 early here.
For over 100 years, our alumni have been earning awards like the Nobel Prize, the Pulitzer, Olympic medals, and the Heisman Trophy. But there's no sense limiting yourself just yet. The University of Texas. What starts here changes the world.
Do not want to speculate, but this does not look good. Graylin Arnold, I beg your pardon, from Kuntz, Texas. The true freshman still being attended to. And the cart is waiting for him.
This coaching staff for Baylor, especially Phil Bennett, you see there in the yellow shirt. They have loved this young kid, Graylin Arnold, and what he's done, what he's brought to this team. So fast as just a true freshman. They say he's able to do anything they want him to do. He's ascended quickly. And as you said, now started last week, started this week at the corner position and kind of took over for Kedrick Vaughns and has a high ceiling as a corner for this defense. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
I mean, in the media guide, which is printed so early, so long ago, he was already listed as a potential starter. I mean, way back when. And he is still being attended to on the field. Let's get an update now. Back to Cassidy in the studio.
Thanks, Steve. Taco Bell studio update and big matchup in the Pac-12. Number 4 Washington, number 17 Utah, and Myles Gaskin puts the Huskies on the board first, 7-0 in the first. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
Okay, Cassidy. Obviously, we'll get you the very latest information on Graylin Arnold as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah, he's got that thumb up.
Yeah.
It's a good sign.
As a fan or a family member watching on TV, you're always waiting for that.
Yeah.
And you got a good look at it. Thumb up. Yep.
I'll talk about how good a job these EMS crews do at these stadiums. We go all over the country to college football, and there's so many situations like this, and they are so good and all taking care of the protocols. They meet endlessly on these types of things, and hopefully they're just taking every precaution in this situation.
And it's rare. It doesn't happen that often, so there's not that much time to practice that. And yet when it's necessary, when you're counted upon,
Yep.
you need to be perfect. You need to be right on.
Absolutely.
And they are. There's another thumbs up. And polite applause from this Longhorn crowd. And again, we'll get an update for you as soon as any information becomes available from the Baylor Sports Information people.
So the young man that Braylon Arnold had replaced for Kedrick Bonds is not on the field. They've actually put Jamison Houston, number 11, in at the corner position opposite Ryan Reed.
Redshirt freshman. Tyron Swoops in there now. Swoops the ball carrier. They go to the 18-wheeler package.
Talking with Sterling Gilbert last night, their offensive coordinator. They said they're going to run him a little bit more. Tyrone Swoops, that is, in this game.
Baylor calls their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
Phil Bennett didn't like the fact they had both quarterbacks on the field at the same time, Swoops and Shane Buechele.
With all those buys, they didn't have a chance to prepare for that, huh?
Well, he's trying to, he just had to make an adjustment because his starting corner went out. So he had to make a decision there. And then he looks up from all of that and the emotion of that, right?
Yeah.
He sees two quarterbacks on the field. I don't blame Phil Bennett for calling timeout.
No, there's a lot to chew on right there.
Still working and getting more information, obviously, but Braylon Arnold was able to move his legs and his hands, his arms, and was shaking hands with a lot of teammates. They're taking him to Breckenwood Hospital. It's a university hospital nearby.
That's great news.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Keep us posted. Buechele again, hands off to Swoops. He has first down yardage and the crowd roars.
Oh, this is interesting. This is the first time we've seen this, right? With Tyrone Swoops, not as a 18-wheeler quarterback, but as a running back. And I think, Chris Warren's been injured, so they don't have him as an option. They need to spell Deontay Foreman.
Buechele's going to throw here. We thought he was. Now he's going to be rocked up from behind. Dropped at the 35-yard line by Avion Edwards.
Yeah, and he wanted to throw the ball deep downfield. You see right back here, double coverage on the outside. That's where he wanted to go with the football. It's a great adjustment by Phil Bennett. Young quarterback Shane Buechele got to throw that ball away in that situation. You call that timeout, right? Call that timeout, address your defense, and come up with a big play.
No, you're right. That's a good use of the timeout there. Hand off to Swoops. Knocked backwards by Greg Roberts.
Greg Roberts, an undersized defensive tackle, 6'6", 260 pounds. He's a true sophomore. Needs to step up. We've talked about no Billings, no Oakman, no Palmer. They need some of these guys in this new 3-4 defense that they've gone to this year to make plays without having a blitz, and big second down stop from Roberts.
Brings up a 3rd and 18. So that about Greg and his dad, Greg Sr., the Outland Trophy winner back in 1978, awarded annually to the best interior lineman in the country. Here's Buechele throwing, and definitely some miscommunication between himself and the receiver. That was not even close.
Third downs are going to be big for Texas. If they're going to win this game, Shane Buechele needs to be better on third downs. And it can't just be lobbing a ball down the field all the time on a go route. You need to work the middle of the field. I feel like that's a big key for Shane in this game, to convert on third downs and use the entire field, not just throwing it outside the numbers.
First punt of the afternoon. Michael Dixon is back to punt. Tony Nicholson be on the receiving end for Baylor. He's standing at his own 10. Gets some pressure. Dixon able to get it away. Nicholson will let it go, and it will go for a touchback. You mentioned Kendall Briles earlier. And for Baylor, of course, the season is being played out against the backdrop of the sexual assault scandal that resulted in the firing of Art Briles, the head coach of Baylor. In the latest development, the Wall Street Journal reporting just yesterday that 17 women have been victims of alleged sexual and domestic assaults involving 19 players at Baylor, this dating back to 2011. And Jim Grobe was brought in. As you see, the first Baylor head coach to start 6-0 in his first season. And he's done a magnificent job.
Yeah, the right guy for the job. There's no question about that. They also have a new athletic director, Mac Rhodes. I think he's been at Baylor for maybe 9 weeks or so. So a lot of changes, and it's put a lot of pressure on these players.
And through it all, they're still undefeated. Looked like some miscommunication there, this time for the Baylor quarterback and receiver, K.D. Cannon. Bring up a second down.
And we mentioned the role that Seth Russell has played in calming that storm. I think it can't be understated, the value of having a veteran at that position that can lead this team at this moment.
Linwood trying to dance for some extra yards. Instead, he'll lose. Bring up a 3rd and long.
Well, that got this crowd into it a little bit there, right? You have an incompletion on 1st down and then a positive play defensively. They've been few and far between the last few weeks. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 13. We'll see what Charlie Strong dials up here while he plays defense on the back end.
Off the play fake, Russell throwing into the middle and incomplete. Couldn't hook up with Chris Platt. P.J. Locke had the coverage, knocked it away.
Yeah, mentioned P.J. Locke. He had the interception on an earlier drive. This time he's locked up 2 deep, man under, and he's just going to trail the receiver. You see him right here, number 11. Nice job there. That's textbook how it's done. They've had so many big plays against them in the secondary. It's nice to see one of these defensive backs for Texas have tight coverage and make a play.
And now back-to-back punts after not having a single punt. Here's Drew Galitz on. Galitz gets it away. Jakari Warwick will call for the fair catch. Take a look at today's AT&T Inside Access. Here's Charlie Strong coaching him up. The linebacker, Brecken Hager, practice Wednesday.
Feet's gonna follow. Let's go. Your feet will follow. Punch and go. Punch. Lock. Lock. Oh, hey. Lock him out. Lock. Same thing, 44. You got to control him first. Let's go. Punch. There you go. Lock. Batter. Right there. Good pad level. Right there. If you don't, he's just going to widen you. You can't let him widen you because you open up to what now? Yeah. Yes. Let's go. You know that.
Charlie keeps working. He doesn't feel like his fate is sealed here, although many others do believe it is.
Listen, he is an outstanding defensive coach. I mean, there's no question about that. His resume is not in question. Now, the head coaching hasn't gone quite as well here at the University of Texas when he's taken over the play calling. I think everybody knows that. Vance Bedford was the defensive coordinator.
By number 92 of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still 1st down.
But Charlie has taken over the play calling duties on the defensive side. He told us yesterday he simplified quite a bit. You know, there was a lot of communication errors and busts just in communication that caused big plays, and he felt like it was going to benefit them to simplify things. And
it's Foreman lunging forward after the penalty flag. Bring up a 2nd and short.
There's no question there's been turmoil on this coaching staff. Charlie Strong's going to fight for his life.
Now, I wanted to say it's more than wins and losses, but maybe it's not. And maybe it is about the 1-loss record. And Charlie Strong in his 3rd season at Texas, the Longhorns are 14-18.
But you know what? This team upset Baylor last year, right? That was a huge upset at the end of the year. Baylor's playing with their 4th quarterback. I understand that, but
here's Michelle trying to get out of trouble, and eventually it is dropped. Jamie Jacobs made the tackle. Brought him down.
We've seen a lot of great plays from Shane Buechele in his freshman year. We've also seen a lot of plays like that. Just the details, the small things, the play fake, too close to the back and you fumble and you get a negative play. Those are the situations that he's got to overcome. Now he's in a situation here where making a check from a defensive standpoint, anticipating a blitz. Now he comes back up to the line, sees that Phil Bennett came out of that blitz and runs the football.
Pitch to Foreman. Deontay Foreman.
That was huge right there. That was a young quarterback playing a mental game with a defensive coordinator in Phil Bennett. That's impressive right there. We talked to him yesterday. I said, you got a zero plan, an all-out pressure plan? He's like, yeah, I got something for him. It's impressive.
And he wants to go quick and hand it to Foreman again, right up the middle. That looked very similar to the Foreman touchdown run from earlier in the game. Avion Edwards able to trip him up that time.
I think what Sterling Gilbert has found is that this running game in between the tackles, if they get through the first line, there's no safety left.
Quick screen out to Devin Duvernay. And his first opportunity of the afternoon. See the numbers on Shane Buechele. What's the right touchdown interception ratio? What are we looking for?
A lot to a little.
Yeah, I know. Is 2 to 1 enough? Because that's 3 to 1.
2 to 1's great. Yeah, 2 to 1's great.
So 3 to 1 you take. Somebody look up Greasy's career numbers for me, please.
Sure, it's not 3 to 1.
It's 4 to 1, I'm sure. On 2nd and 8, loss on the play as Foreman is slammed backwards.
Well, we haven't talked about this a whole lot, but Texas has adopted the Baylor style of offense. Sterling Gilbert was a GA at Houston under Art Briles, and so they've made the switch on the offensive side, and so there's going to be growing pains. You add in a true freshman quarterback on top of that, and there's going to be some ugly plays, but they've gotten some momentum. This team is not 3-4 because of their offense, but because of their defense.
Charlie Strong told us no matter who's coaching this team next year, they're going to be a 10-win team, Texas will be. On 3rd down and 7, that was slow developing to John Burt, who could not hang on. Burt, who's had an issue with drops, had Ryan Reed all over him on the coverage.
Well, did Reed get a hand in there? No, that's just a drop, and there's been too many of those, Steve. There's been too many of those for Texas. There were too many last week. These coaching staff thinks that the receiver position is their strongest unit. Well, they got to play like it.
4th and 7, they're going. From their own 31. Buechele, was there a hold? Certainly looked that way. And the receiver didn't come back for the ball. The defender did. It's Ryan Reed. On a 4th down play anyway, Ryan Reed will get credit for the pick.
That's a great job by Ryan Reed. This play was doomed from the start. There was a hold. There's no question. There's a hold right here. When he tried to escape, holds on to defensive end, then this ball thrown late on the edge. Great play by Ryan Reed, but even if it was incomplete, it would have been a change on downs. Good stop by Baylor defensively.
The receiver Burt did not come back to the ball. That's what looks like Buechele's looking for. Hey, come on back to me.
It's reps, it's reps. This Texas team, they play a lot of receivers. They'll play 10 wide receivers, which I'm not a huge fan of playing 10 wide receivers because I don't get the reps with them. I don't know exactly how they're going to react. I'd love to have just 3, 4, 5, 6 that I know exactly how they were going to be on the same page with me.
Terrence Williams is the setback now. To the right of Seth Russell. And Williams, the ball carrier. First carry of the afternoon. Might want to give it to him a little more. 1st down and then some. 15 on the game. Russell looking to his right, and when he looks left, he is driven under by Charles O'Menahue. He did not see that coming.
That was a miscommunication there. Wanted to throw the ball outside to the bunch, and when he came back, there was nowhere to go, and O'Menahue was a beneficiary.
2nd and 14. Under 3 to play in this first quarter. All 4 touchdowns coming in the first 5.5 minutes of the game. It's been a defensive slugfest since then. Williams again, the ball carrier. Puna Ford making the tackle.
And that's right at Malik Jefferson, and I don't blame Kendall Briles for running their big back inside right at Malik Jefferson. The thing I noticed on tape about Malik is he's playing a little bit out of position at that Mike linebacker spot. Doesn't like to take on the big fullback.
3rd and 9. Little shovel, trying to shovel it to Williams. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass.
The ruling on the field was a forward pass. It was incomplete. It's 4th down.
Boy, I don't know about that. You know, it looks like they're running an option which would not have been a forward pass. He's right on the line there. Boy, that's close. Again, it's so important how it's called on the field. This will be a good look at it. He's going right down the 35-yard line.
The ruling of an incomplete forward pass is under further review.
It looked like Williams was not to the 35-yard line. And
Jason Hall came up with it for Texas. We'll get our second review of the game.
you agree he's right on the 35
yep.
here, and that ball, I mean, I don't know that there's enough evidence to overturn that.
That's close. All these plays are so close.
And it's worth mentioning that if they do rule it a fumble, that there has to be an immediate recovery of that ball for it to change possession. You let it run to see who recovers that ball. Is it Jason Hall?
Yes. Malcolm Roach had the immediate pressure on Russell.
Yeah, there would be well, it was not an immediate recovery.
What's immediate?
Again, I don't know that you can overturn that with the evidence we saw there. And conversely, if it was ruled a fumble, I don't think you can overturn it.
Agreed.
Baylor's been a little bit loose with the football in the first half. The interception off the deflection from Chris Boyd, and now this.
And takeaways have been tough to come by for Texas. They had the interception earlier in this game, but they came into the afternoon ranked 90th in the FBS.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's 4th down.
Stands is significant.
Yep, by the letter of the law, I think that's the right call. But Baylor dodged a bullet there. There's no question.
Drew Galitz back to punt at the 25-yard line. With the field goal issues Baylor had, Galitz actually got to kick a field goal. Missed from 48 a couple of weeks ago. But he'll punt this one away. Corey Warwick will let it bounce. And it'll be down at the 21-yard line. Tonight on ABC Saturday Night Football, ACC Showdown, playoff implications everywhere you look. Sean Watson, 3rd-ranked Clemson, take on 12th-ranked Florida State in Tallahassee. Tigers and Knowles, Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Talking about being loose with the football, the Clemson Tigers need to take care of the football. They've had 10 turnovers in the last 3 games alone. We did one of their games against NC State. They turned it over 5 times.
Handoff. Kyle Porter checking in. And Porter, the ball carrier, the true freshman from Katy, Texas. Trayvon Blanchard made the tackle for Baylor.
One Kyle Porter.
It's Edwards again stopping Porter, Todd.
We're seeing more tight ends for this Texas offense today. Caleb Blewett, one of them. Andrew Beck has also been playing. They're clearly, because Baylor's loading up to try to stop the run and because Texas still wants to run the football, getting the tight ends more involved in the blocking game.
Yeah, that's one way of getting the numbers back in their favor. If Baylor's going to put 6-7 in the box, then Texas is going to put a tight end in the game.
And the chess match is fascinating when it comes to the coaches and coordinators. Again, it's Kyle Porter. Gain of 6 on the play. Porter rushed the football just 1 time in their last game last week. And going to Porter here already 3 times.
Keep an eye on this box here all game. How many guys are in the box in this situation? You get 7 of them now, 8 at some times. And that's where the quarterback looks at. He says, how many are in the box? How many blockers do I have? And that makes a determination as to whether he throws or runs the football.
Handoff. Foreman back in there and carrying the ball right back to that line of scrimmage. Taylor Young the tackle, and it's 4th down. 4th and 2.
You're going to put a lot on Shane Buechele. You know, this is a new offense for everybody, and certainly as a true freshman, he's executed it really well so far in this first half.
No question. Foreman is already at 100 yards rushing. Dixon back to punt. No pressure that time. He'll get it away. And Troy Nicholson will run up and let it bounce, and we'll see where it bounced out. It's going to be a beauty of a punt.
You see this Baylor offense back on the field. We mentioned Kendall Briles, some creative looks early in the game. You see here, this was the first drive. 4 guys outside the numbers and a tackle out there. They hide the tight end. You know, they used to do this with big 400-pound Laquan McGowan. They're doing it now with their other tight ends. 3 guys outside the numbers here. You get a matchup, a wide receiver on Wheeler, a linebacker. What a mismatch that is. A lot of this, and when you do that and you add in the element of speed and tempo, it's hard for defenses to adjust, and that's one of the best things that Baylor does on the offensive side.
50-yard punt was a beauty, and that's the reason Seth Russell, this Baylor offense, to start from their own 10. 6 seconds left in the first quarter. Tied at 14. If you weren't with us from the start, you missed a bunch. 4 touchdowns in 5.5 minutes. Here's Russell on the run. Russell opened the scoring with a 50-yard touchdown run, and he's looking for more. There is a flag down as he goes out of bounds, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. We'll check the flag.
Holding by number 68 of the offense. Penalties half the distance to the goal, and it's still first down.
Ishmael Wilson nullifies the 23-yard run.
There he is right here.
We will extend the period for 1 down.
Working on Poona Ford. And yeah, just wraps that arm. That's a good call. Big call, because that was a big gain. Texas needs Poona Ford. They need this defensive front. Chris Nelson, the other defensive tackle. Those 2 guys need to hold their own against the run so that they can take some pressure off this secondary that hasn't played up to par.
Here's some free football for you, Grease. With zeros on the clock, we're going to play another down. They're going to extend the quarter. 1 more play. With the penalty, we'll mark it back half the distance to the goal, so it's 1st and 15 from the Baylor 5.
First time we've gotten this crowd involved, too, backed up inside the 5.
There's the safe play, the handoff to Shock Linwood. Get him a little breathing room. He's like, I got a free play. I'll take some extra time, sure.
That was a great run right there.
And a lengthy run as well. And that will do it. Fast start to this one. Played some defense the final 10 minutes of that quarter. We're 14-all after 1 in Austin.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the college football playoff.
Baylor hoping to be in that college football playoff. Tuesday will be an exciting day. We'll get our first rankings. But here you see the combined offense in the first quarter. If you missed the first 5.5, missed a lot of points and yards.
You never know when it's going to come either, you know, so
don't look down. Don't look down.
Learn that the hard way?
Yeah. No bathroom breaks either, by the way. This is Big 12 football in a big way. We'll open up quarter number 2. Levy, Greasy, and McShay from DKR. Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium here in beautiful Austin, Texas. 2nd down and 7 for Seth Russell. And he'll hand it off to Terrence Williams. Russell is a fabulous story. I mentioned earlier, 14-0 as a starter. But he was about a year ago, just over a year and a week ago, he was injured, broke his C6 vertebrae in his neck. He said he was a couple of millimeters from never walking again.
Crazy.
And here he is back on the football field. And on 3rd and short, nothing doing. The Texas defense steps up in a big way.
Huge stop by that defense. And again, it's Poona Ford who made a big play on this previous series, getting the holding call, and here he is. That's just physical. That's just having an attitude and some heart, and that's what Charlie Strong wanted in this game.
And Brian, that's the big difference. I mean, they've had a couple big busts on the defensive side for Texas. This is not a great tackling team, so how do you overcome that? With effort, flying to the ball, rallying to the football, and getting 6, 7 guys there to tackle. That's the big difference I've seen from the tape we watched to on the field today.
Galitz from his 5 will boot it away. Ja'Cory Warwick will call for the fair catch in a crowded neighborhood at their own 45. Gain of 37, Todd.
I've been impressed with this Texas offensive line, and it's very obvious what they're trying to do is to run the football, and a lot of it's coming behind their really good left tackle, Connor Williams. When you watch Williams, he's very good feet, long arms. He's physical. He can continue to get bigger and stronger, but this guy has a big-time future. I think he's going to wind up being a first-round NFL draft pick when it's all said and done. He's still a youngster. You can see the impact he's having.
Oh, Todd with the early prediction on a first-rounder.
Thought you'd like that.
It's just a true sophomore. He's a baby.
Hey.
Wait, Todd, at which position, though? At tackle or tight end? They said he could start at tight end, too. He's got those kind of skills.
15 more pounds, we're talking left tackle.
Here's Foreman, the ball carrier. He's across midfield.
I thought one of the interesting things from Charlie Strong, talking about Connor Williams, is he said, you know, he's obviously becoming a leader for us on offense, but he needs to speak up a little bit more. He's really quiet.
2nd down and 4. It's Foreman again. He did go over 100 yards. Mentioned he came in with a streak of 8 consecutive games. Make it 9. Going after Earl Campbell's record of 11 straight 100-yard rushing games in 1977. Third and 4.
3rd down. This is where your quarterback has got to make the plays for it. Extend drives.
Buechele will hand off. Foreman, second effort into the secondary and nearly broke free. Good ankle tackle by Chance Wise, and that was the last chance for the Baylor defense.
Well, and Baylor needs to understand, and specifically Trayvon Blanchard, you can't go for the football against Deontay Foreman in the open field. You have got to get him on the ground.
Here's Buechele to throw. Gets out of some trouble. And he'll throw it away to avoid some more. Cassidy.
Thanks, Steve. Another checkup on Washington and Utah. Jake Browning to John Ross. Look at this concentration there on the catch. 8-play, 95-yard touchdown drive. Washington up 14-0 in the second. Steve, Brian, Todd.
Undefeated on the road. Top-ranked. One of the 7. Washington. Of course, right here, Baylor. West Virginia already going down earlier today. And that's not going to go anywhere for Buechele. He is wrapped up and sent flying. Greg Roberts amongst the hitters there for Baylor.
Now, this is the area of the field where Phil Bennett likes to dictate to offenses. He says, enough of this. I'm going to bring pressure. I'm going to take away your best player, Deontay Foreman, and make your quarterback make the decision, and puts him in a backed-up situation, 3rd and 12.
3 receivers bottom of your screen. Foreman the lone setback. Buechele feels the pressure up the middle and down the sideline, but out of bounds. Could not keep it in bounds with Colin Johnson.
Well, it was a great job by Buechele of extending this play. Colin Johnson, 6'6". Wow, it was very close there to making a big conversion.
And, you know, the difference between Texas and Baylor with their receivers, Baylor only uses one side of the field. The other receivers rest. For Texas, all 4 receivers are working, and that almost paid off on the backside.
So Buechele has missed his last 4, and this time he's going to kick it. Little pooch punt.
Oh.
It bounces into the end zone. Thought they were going for it on 4th. Buechele's got a smile on his face. Who's got a better life than he does? Celebrating its 12th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Good on Allstate for doing that. 11:42 to play here in the half. So you're saying the first quarter took some time, huh, Grease? Linwood. To the 20, he is rocked down.
That was a big hit there. That's not the kind of hit that Jim Grove or Kendall Briles want on their quarterback. And they don't have a whole lot behind him. You know, Jarrett Stidham transferred, and you've had a broken neck the past 12 months. You do not want to put your quarterback in that spot.
So we asked Russell, said, hey, how you feeling? His quote was, I'm perfect. Of course he is. Big handoff and a big run. Linwood slams right up the middle for the gain of 17.
And after they get that first down, Baylor's going to go fast as possible. You see both these teams almost mirror images of each other in trying to get as many plays called in a game as possible. And we're going to track the speed on this drive.
Down the middle of the field, it is complete to Blake Lynch.
You see the clock between plays. Lynch goes down. We'll see how fast Baylor gets up to the line of scrimmage and gets the next play call. They average about 13 to 14 seconds.
Lynch's first catch of the afternoon. Linwood again, the ball carrier down to the 40-yard line. We'll mix the pass and run here.
Yep, mix it up. And again, you see the speed does two things. Prevents the defense from substituting, obviously, but it also masks some of these formations.
It's going to wear the defense out, too, I would think. Not much there. Gain of 1 on the play.
You see on third down, Texas tries to substitute here. And Baylor's not going as fast, giving them the opportunity with mass substitutions. It's a missed opportunity.
Third down and 5.
Well, they caught one on the field.
Off the play fake. And the pass is complete to Lynch again for the first down. P.J. Locke on the coverage.
And that's the danger, right, for Texas of substituting is they weren't
flag
able,
down. Sorry, Brian.
They weren't able to get him off the field.
A substitution infraction on the defense. There were 12 on the field when the ball was snapped. The penalties declined. It's a first down.
And Kendall Briles, as soon as he sees this mass substitution, and you see right here, it's Cottrell trying to get off the field, he's got a quick call, and he'll yell to Seth Russell. He'll say that quick call, and for them, obviously, it's just a double slant, and they run it, and they get a free first down.
Usually it's close, right? That guy wasn't even, I mean, was he at the numbers even? That wasn't even close to getting off the field.
Katie Cannon offsides.
A false start.
Katie Cannon hasn't really got in this game. You know, he's a streaky player. They need him, but he's got no catches at one target, and now he jumps off sides. He's got to get his head in the game.
1st and 15. So he took the speed clock down, I guess, huh? It's taking a little more time to develop.
A penalty.
No fastball here. Russell throwing, knocked away, batted down by Breckenhager.
Yeah, Hager and Malik Jefferson that time. Let's give some credit to Jefferson. This is one of the staples, the inside fake, and then a quick hitter on the outside. And Jefferson, nice job of reading the eyes of the quarterback and making a play. They got to make more plays. That's the mantra this week for Texas defensemen.
2nd and 15.
And Texas has made a little bit of an adjustment to a 3-man front. Normally they come out in a 4-man front, but they're playing more 3-down linemen than we've seen all year.
Longhorn defenders encouraging their fans to get into this. There's a flag down as the pass was intercepted by Deshaun Elliott, but I believe the whistle blew before the play.
Before the snap. And it's still 2nd down.
Boy, that's a break for Baylor. We've seen this a couple of times in this game. Mo Porter, the left tackle, they get him with a false start. But, you know, this was an interception. Would have been a turnover. Here he is right here. That's a good call. It's the right call. It's just how many times are we going to see the unfortunate call for going against Texas?
Right. Amazing that a false start by Baylor works out for Baylor. Right? Lots of spurts now. Stops and starts in this game.
Please set the clock to 9:26. 9:26.
Yeah, we apologize for Cooper Castleberry, the referee. His microphone seems to be in and out today.
Be careful if you're Texas here, right? I mean, you got an opportunity here, got it backed up, but we know this Baylor team, they are very explosive, and the last thing you want to do is let them off the hook in this situation.
Second and 20. Quick throw out to Zamora. And he's brought down at the 35-yard line by P.J. Locke.
I'm a little bit surprised, Steve, that Seth Russell has not attacked down the field a little bit more. The unquestioned weakness of this Texas team is the secondary, and specifically deep throws, and they really haven't pushed it down the field as much as I thought they would early.
Third and 12. Russell with a good pocket to step up into it. Can't connect. Looking to hit Chris Platt. Platt was looking for a penalty marker with P.J. Locke on the coverage again.
This Texas defense was challenged in the off week, and certainly P.J. Locke has responded. In his nickel roll, 3 times he has been in position. 1 time deflection led to an interception, and then 2 incompletions. He's come to play today.
4th and 12. Going for it. We thought Texas was going for it on their 4th down, and Michelle, a little pooch punt. Russell will go in a different direction. And again in a different direction. Lost the football in one of the spins. It is picked up by a Baylor offensive lineman, Blake Blackmar, able to pick up the loose change. A lot of chaos on that 4th down play.
Yeah. You know, when he took the snap, I thought for sure they're going to pooch punt that ball. It's difficult 4th and 12, and we know Seth Russell's done that a number of times. This play was doomed from the start. Roll out, there's nobody open, and then it gets worse with a fumble.
Seth Russell, the quarterback for Baylor, we saw on tape he has a tendency to carry the ball away, and that time he got burned from it.
College football presented by Kay Jewelers. Brought to you by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Tonight on ESPN's College Football Primetime, 2 ranked Big Ten teams face off. Undefeated and 7th ranked Nebraska. They'll take on 11th ranked Wisconsin. Huskers and Badgers College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. Back just in time. Quick feed down the middle of the field is a beauty to Armani Foreman, and it's loose at the end. And Baylor has it. Quick strike coming out of a television timeout, and then it's fumbled at the 2.
There's a great play call there. Foreman trying to make a little bit more happen at the end of this run. Great throw from Shane Buechele, right on the money. Some credit. That ball was out. Some credit to Jamison Houston. For 11 in replace of the injured Graylin Arnold, stripping that football. Don't ever give up on the play.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down before he fumbled the ball. First down.
Boy, There was one official that had pointed in the opposite direction, which meant he would ruled as a fumble recovered by Baylor. They changed their mind on the field. And this is going to be close. I think it's the right knee.
Further review.
It's a critical play, right?
Absolutely.
You hang onto the football.
This is our
You're
best.
at the 12 after a 41-yard play.
Boy, that was close. It's the right knee.
We'll empty the tank and give you everything we have.
Try to give the replay officials every look we have.
And you see at home what the replay officials see.
And this is the one here. This is that right knee.
That is close. Well, it's so unfair. To the officials, I mean.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to do it at regular speed.
Well, and critical that they switched the original call on the field to a fumble, because I'm not so sure that there is video evidence to overturn that. Boy. This is a good look here. Let's see. I don't know, that might be the best look.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can look at that one again, but ball's already out there.
Hard to see the ball.
This one right here, maybe we can freeze it when we get the knee down right now.
That's out. Right?
Well, the ball, sorry, here's the ball here. It's already been out. I think that, yeah, that one right there, a couple frames right, their ball is out and the knee was not down. I think that's our best look.
Definitive there, yeah.
And
Jamison Houston, what a play.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, see, that ball is out. Here's the ball. And the knee is not down. I think that's a good look there. Great look, both of those from the end zone. Either end zone. It's pretty definitive in my eyes.
And it's worth pointing out that Houston is the player who replaced Braylon Arnold, the true freshman starting cornerback who was taken off on a stretcher and taken to the hospital.
Just a redshirt freshman, and it's a great example of never giving up on a play. He was embarrassed. He was beat, right? He's trying to save a touchdown, never gives up. They teach you to tackle the football. And Armani Foreman wasn't anticipating it. Thinks he's got a touchdown. A guy comes from behind and puts his hand right on the football.
Start looking up at the scoreboard, right?
Yeah.
On your way in.
Now, if it is a fumble, right, so they called him down. If it is a fumble, you need the immediate recovery, which Baylor did have.
After further review, the runner fumbled the ball before he was down. It was recovered by the defense at the 2-yard line. First down. Please set the game clock to 8:48. 8:48.
Wow, what a swing of events. Texas at the 12 going in, as opposed to Baylor now at their own 2 with the football.
That's a great job by this officiating crew as well. I mean, it took a little bit longer, some time. You know, we dump all of our looks, and it wasn't until you got till the 8th or 9th look where you had the evidence, but it's a great job.
Great job by our men and women as well.
Yeah,
and the 400 cameras we have working today at the disposal of director Mike Schwab. 14 all.
Candidate for shot of the week right there.
Oh.
Just throw that out there.
You have no idea how important that is to the crew. No idea. So here we go. After the turnover. Seth Russell off the play fake. Out of his own end zone. Overthrew his intended target, Chris Platt.
There's a penalty flag in the end zone, and if this is holding in the end zone, would be a safety. Like maybe Blake
Holding by number 72 in the end zone. It's a safety.
Blake Blackmon. Yeah.
They shoot off the cannon. That's points. Texas Longhorns take the lead.
Take them any way you can get them. There's Blackmar right here, the right guard.
That was about 6 yards away from him when he held him. He just wrapped his arm right around the defensive lineman. It was obvious.
Yeah, and that's Boyette. That's Paul Boyette, the senior. That's a great look there. Yeah, that's the definition of a hold. He's definitely in the end zone. Take a risk when you throw the ball out of your own end zone. It's not just, you know, whether you're going to fumble it or throw an interception, but the holding call is worth points. And it's, you know, that speaks to effort. Okay, you're not going to get a holding call if you're not coming out with effort, especially in that situation. Give Paul Boyette some credit too.
But how about the crazy turn of events? Texas thinks they're going in. They fumble at the 2, and they still wind up getting points out of it. Now it's only 2 instead of 6.
Yep. This has been a crazy season for Texas. I know that Charlie Strong will take points any way he can get them.
It's the Longhorns by 2. Texas will get the 2 off the safety and get the football. Ja'Cory Warwick and Armani Foreman are back deep.
You know, we talked about this Texas defense coming in, Steve. I mean, much maligned, and they give up a touchdown in the first drive, and they've responded. You know, in the last quarter and a half, they have not only stopped Baylor consistently on the offensive side, but now they've scored points.
Galich, that free kick from the 20, high in the sky. And it's Foreman running to the near side, trying to make a few people miss, stopped at the 34-yard line.
Hey, Levy, I feel like you right now.
Okay, why is that?
First time I've ever been handed a card to read. I've got the Aflac trivia question right here. Let's take a look at today's Aflac trivia question. Does that sound right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Who's the last offensive player from Texas to be selected in the first round of the NFL draft?
Oh,
You knew I had a slant on it, Greasy.
had to be a draft question if it was Todd reading it.
Somebody Google that and tweet it to me at ESPN.
Come on,
Steve
what do you
Levy.
got? You got anything, Leaves?
Hang on, I'm worried about this next series here.
Oh, okay.
Handoff. Tyrone swoops. The quarterback is the running back. And not much doing there. Edwards came up to make the tackle.
Well, let's see. McShay, receiving group?
Do you want a hint?
No, don't want to.
I'm trying to remember. Was it? It was last first round pick?
Yes, on the offensive side.
Okay.
How about a year?
Because they've been getting mostly defensive players drafted, as you know. Baylor has the offensive players getting drafted.
It's been several years.
Oh, several. Thanks for the help.
Oh, you got a timeout to think about it, Levy.
Let me check my Twitter account. Send it to me. People, help a brother out.
Back at Baylor, Texas, guys have been grinding to try to get the Aflac trivia question.
I have not
And
been
now,
cheating.
the answer to today's Aflac trivia question.
Well, I went with Cedric Benson, at
The
least because
last
I know.
offensive player is a first-round pick, Vince Young, in 2006. 10 years ago, he's the 3rd overall pick by the Tennessee Titans.
See,
There's
you
VY.
wanted to say Vince Young, but you just didn't trust yourself.
My Twitter account blew up. Thanks for all the help. Fumble. Ball is out. Knocked out. And there is a flag down as well.
Xavier Jones came off the edge, number 94, got a hand on into Tyrone Swoops. They were trying to hand it off to Swoops, and he just fumbled it, but what's the flag?
It was thrown by the back judge.
Doing my best to read lips. It looked like he said number 47, which is Andrew Beck with the hold. But did the ball come out? That's the question. I need to go back and look at this. Are they calling that an incomplete pass? That's what that signal is. It's really tough when you can't hear, the official there, but this is a handoff. This is not a pass, and that is a fumble. They need to go back and look at this, but it's
already snapped the play.
Wow.
Jump ball brought down by Colin Johnson, trying to stay in bounds. Colin Johnson is the guy to win the jump ball. He goes 6'6".
You know what? We talk a lot about the advantages of these up-tempo offenses. One of the things we never talk about is the fact that sometimes you get plays and you can nullify mistakes because you snap the ball so fast before they can replay it. That was clearly a fumble, Steve, and should have been a ball of Baylor.
First catch for him, gain of 40. This is Jake Oliver on the far side. And we're starting to see some of the depth for Texas.
Go back to that fumble. There's no pass there. That was a handoff, and Xavier Jones gets his hand in there, and then it's a scrum on the bottom of the pile. It looked like Baylor had it, but we never had a chance to even look at it. That's one we've seen some go against Baylor.
Yeah.
Against Texas. That was definitely one in their favor.
These things tend to even out, Grease. Such is life. Bouchel will throw to Oliver. Down the sideline. Oliver bumped out at about the 9-yard line by Ryan Reed, and here come the Longhorns.
Trayvon Blanchard, number 48 for Baylor. He's struggling today. He's struggling in the open field tackling. Our questions, right, coming into this game. Baylor, only opportunity left for the college football playoff for the Big 12, and their defense was the question.
Here's Foreman. Cuts to the outside. Foreman on his feet. Touchdown, Texas.
Chance was. It was Trayvon Blanchard on the previous play. Chance was on this play. The safety. You got to come up and keep leverage on Deontay Foreman. He underestimated his speed. But just because he's 250 pounds doesn't mean he doesn't have speed when he bounces it outside.
Trent Domain on for the extra point. He had 3 blocked against Oklahoma State. So not a sure thing. And hooks that one through. 6 plays, 66 yards, ends up in a 9-yard scoring play.
7 undefeateds on the road this weekend. We already saw West Virginia go down. Texas starting to get the ball bouncing their way in this game. Can they pull off the upset?
The fumble that wasn't, and then the touchdown that was by Deontay Foreman. Texas on top, 23-14. It's been a wild affair. Let's put it that way.
Catch your breath.
6:35 to go. I needed that timeout. 6:35 left here in the first half. Got a safety and then a touchdown drive. So 2 minutes and 8 seconds to get those 9 points.
Yeah.
For Texas. And thus they lead 23-14. Baylor will get the football. At their own 25.
And what's crazy is those 9 points have been a direct result of 2 fumbles by the scoring team, not the opposing team. This clearly was a fumble. It seemed like they ruled it an incomplete pass on the field. It looked like it was recovered right there by Baylor. Certainly a scrum underneath, but if that would have been ruled a fumble and they come out underneath on the bottom there, that would have been Baylor's football.
That's what they're saying in Waco, by the way.
Yep.
Tough call there. Still a whole lot of football left. Hard to believe there's still 6:35 left in this first half. What time's your flight tonight, please?
I'll stand in the great city of Austin. Explosive offense right here. This is, 9 points is nothing to Baylor.
Well, explosive early. And then, as you pointed out, Texas defense showed up. Shock Linwood trying to cut to the outside.
That's the difference right there, is the tackling. We saw so many missed tackles from this Texas defense during the first several games of the season. It's become really an epidemic, but one-on-one, in space, making tackles is critical for this Texas team.
See the official trying to slow things down a little bit, get everybody set. Now we'll let him play. Russell the screen. They're going to throw. Katie Cannon to throw, and it's caught. Caught by Terrence Williams. And Williams inside the 30. Stopped at the 28-yard line. They finally get Katie Cannon involved. Not the way you would expect.
No, it's a great throw by Katie Cannon. There's a flag down, like a lineman downfield.
An eligible receiver downfield on the offense, number 77. It's a 5-yard penalty and replay second down.
That's Patrick Lawrence. And Katie Cannon's upset about it, but Patrick Lawrence, you know, you gotta stay. You can't go downfield. Here he is right here. See if he goes more than 3 yards downfield. He's blocking. He's blocking. I think they called the wrong guy. It's actually Blackmar, 72, and that's a good call. He's more than 3 yards downfield.
Blackmar's had a tough go of it too today. He was the holding in the end zone, led to the safety. It nullifies a 40-yard gain.
And it's worth noting, Blackmar, first-year starter. You know, there are 4 new starters up front for Baylor. The only returner is Kyle Fuller, the senior, who's the captain and leader up front, but they're breaking in new guys.
By the way, file that away. Cannon has an arm.
Good point.
Cannon.
I wasn't going to do it.
Greasy did. Russell the throw. Knocked away. Looking for Cannon there on the receiving end. John Bonney had the coverage.
I am shocked that Seth Russell has not thrown the ball down the field to Katie Cannon and to Zamora, because the Texas defenders are jumping routes. They've got a tipped ball. Locke's got 3 of them. Throw the ball down the field.
3rd and 12. If you're ever going to throw it down the field, you'd think 3rd and 12 you would.
Yeah, but that's not the situation, Steve, right? Because they're going to play soft. It's 1st and 2nd down. You have the opportunity.
He does throw it down the field. Got a man looking up into the sun, and Cannon couldn't bring it down. Bonney had the coverage there. Looking right into that bright sun.
John Bonney. This is one of the fastest players in college football, Katie Cannon, and John Bonney's right there in position. Devontae Davis, Holton Hill came into the season. They thought they were going to be the corners that were going to help Texas, but they haven't been able to play consistent enough, and so Bonney and Chris Boyd have gotten opportunities, and Bonney makes a big play.
Baylor, 14 points in the first 5.5 minutes of the game. Nothing to show for it on offense on the scoreboard in the last 19 minutes. And Gaelick's called upon to punt it away from his own 18. And smacked down immediately was Ja'Cory Warwick by Jordan Williams. Got the good stick on him. Take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Hope you got here early.
Well, your guess is as good as mine as what's going to be on these replays. You could have picked from 20 different plays, but Baylor got out to a hot start. An answer from Shane Buechele and this Texas offense. Then they come right back with a body blow from Deontay Foreman.
Foreman has done the job today. He's over 100 yards for the 9th consecutive game. He came in needing 145 yards to go over 1,000 for the season. Here's Buechele in trouble. Able to throw it away.
That's got to be a penalty. He's inside the pocket, and he's throwing it to nobody.
That's what Taylor Young wants to know.
There it is.
Intentional grounding. The passer was still in the pocket and didn't throw it toward a receiver. It's a loss of down, 2nd down.
You know, sometimes the young quarterbacks, you can actually see him thinking, you know, and but these defenders sometimes get on you so fast, and then you start thinking, and it's too late.
If you think Buechele looks young there, you should see him in person. Got a good look into his eyes. He does not turn 19 until January. As John Anderson, my Sports Center colleague, likes to say, I couldn't even find my car keys when I was 18. And here's Buechele trying to be the starting quarterback and doing just that in a big way for Texas. Overthrows Ja'Cory Warwick there. I'll bring up a 3rd and 18.
I was really impressed with his poise. Talking with him yesterday, he's going to be a great quarterback and a great leader for this team. Certainly, when you're playing as a freshman, there's a lot of things that aren't going to go pretty, but he's got great poise. He's a competitor. You know, and talking to some of his teammates, they love him.
And if he just had to worry about his own position at least, that would be something. But he's got the weight of the Austin, Texas world on him. His coach's job hanging in the balance. And as much as Charlie Strong wants these players to block that out, that's just not realistic. That's not possible. You can't avoid that kind of outside noise as a player, as a kid.
No, but I think he's got the right mentality for it. If anybody's going to be able to do it, you know, it's a mentality like Shane Buechele that is able to block a lot of stuff out. You know, his father was a baseball player, professional baseball player, and he's grown up with professional sports. He knows what pressure looks like and how to deal with it.
It's Steve Buechele, one of the coaches of the Texas Rangers, actually roomed with John Elway at Stanford. Michael Dixon gets it in the air. Tony Nicholson allowed to bounce. It takes a Texas bounce down to about the 18-yard line. Well, let me ask you, can he still save his job? Does he have to win this game? Something people think he has to win out. That's his only chance.
Well, I don't think there's any question for it even to be a consideration he needs to win out. Now, this would go a long way, obviously, but I don't know that that's enough, to be totally honest with you.
Right. And is 3 years enough? I guess at Texas it is.
You know what? At Texas, that's all you're going to get.
Right.
And that's the
right
most.
Or wrong.
Yeah, that's on the high side. I think at Texas. And there's just it's a different place. Texas is different than most places in college football. And Charlie Strong knew that, understood that when he took this job. Yeah. And certainly the win-loss has not been good enough. And Charlie knows that, and he knows what the implications of that are.
He said, I was on the hot seat before the season even started. He was on those watch lists, right, immediately. And then they win. They beat Notre Dame in double overtime.
An illegal substitution on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
And that's a great point. You mentioned that, the win against Notre Dame. And we were talking with Charlie last night, and he said, you know what? I knew when we won that game against Notre Dame that we were going to have to reset expectations. And he said, oh, no. Now everybody is going to think that we're back, that we're still young. And you can see kind of where he ranks in the history of Texas coaches. But he knew he had a young team.
And what looked like a great victory there, well, now we know about Notre Dame as well, right? Notre Dame's having an awful season. Shock Linwood, the ball carrier, and therefore the value of that victory.
The issue has been defense. We know that. But this defense has, of the 11 starters, 8 of them are true sophomores. And so where does the leadership come from?
Whoa. Where did that defender come from? Not Seth Russell flying. Nashawn Hughes was in there. And now players come together.
Yep. Nashawn Hughes got the start today in place of Anthony Wheeler. Tim Cole started in place of Malik Jefferson. And I think Charlie Strong wanted to motivate his defense, and certainly I think it's helped. Nashawn Hughes didn't get blocked there. It's a breakdown in protection, but that's Kyle Fuller right there, number 55 for Baylor, protecting his quarterback. I don't blame him.
Third down. Russell trying to run for it. Russell's got it right up the middle. It's like he looks around and can't believe how much running room he had. Chris Boyd finally brought him down.
You play coverage, yeah, Steve, you play coverage back, and look, there's nobody back here. So you break the first line of defense, and everybody's got their backs turned, playing 2 deep man under. You can't play that coverage against a mobile quarterback like this.
Needed 15, got 21. Again, an eternity ago, Russell opened the scoring with a 50-yard touchdown run. This is K.D. Cannon starting to work himself back into the game.
That's his first catch. And if they get this guy going, look out.
Give to Linwood. Dancing his way, trying to pick up a few extra yards, and he does. John Bonney came up to make the tackle.
Be interested to see how this pace of Baylor's offense affects the defensive line for Texas. Starting to see some hands on hips. Big Puna Ford, Chris Nelson, Boyette. All these guys in here, that's a lot of snaps for them to play.
Texas calls their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
As you were mentioning,
give them a breather.
They need a break.
Yeah.
Put 4 seconds back on. Matthew McConaughey. All right. He's a frequent attendee of these games. Apparently has his own suite. Why wouldn't he?
Got his own flag, too. Heard Roger Clemens was in the building, too.
Would not be surprised. Or the famed Texan. Capital One halftime report is just minutes away, or it could be a half hour away. It's tough to tell with 2:26 left on the clock.
These two teams want to squeeze every second of football out of these 60-minute games. I love it, though. It's more football.
Right.
I'm not a big believer in the, more plays equals, more risk, all those kinds of things. I think that conversation's kind of died down. All right, Nick Saban was a #1, advocate against these kinds of offense, but now we see him and Lane Kiffin using some similar principles.
And the kids want to play this way, right?
Yeah.
The kids love this. Is fun football. Second down and 5.
This Texas defense has kind of risen up, trying to get this crowd into it. The energy level is up. That's Malcolm Roach off the edge. Baylor's going to take
their second timeout of the half.
Play clock was down to 0.
Timeout.
So instead of the delay of game penalty there.
Already seen West Virginia go down today on the road against Oklahoma State. There's the standings. Oklahoma's still in it, but Oklahoma, that defense, you kidding me?
Right.
Now they still have to play Baylor, obviously. But mayhem right now at the top. Baylor in trouble here on the road, and same thing West Virginia.
And Baylor's schedule gets tough. You wanted to know, who have they played? It certainly picks up after 2 buys in a 3-week span.
Yeah, they play 6 weeks in a row, and the next week TCU, and then they get Baylor against Oklahoma at home. So certainly there's those 2 games, and then we know December 3rd at West Virginia.
Second and 5. Hand off to Linwood. Can't get the first down yardage. Stopped at the Texas 40. By Jason Hall.
Pressure look from Texas defensively.
3rd and 1. Very close. Second effort, 3rd effort, and we'll see where they spot it. I think he's short. Again, Jason Hall and Dylan Haynes coming up to make the tackle there.
Give some credit to Shock Linwood. I mean, he's only got 52 yards coming in this first half, but he has made some sensational runs, and there's no question that Kendall Brown is going to go for it here.
Especially with the field goal kicking situation as it is. They've really struggled in that regard.
Yep.
4th and a real 1.
This is where you get a sneak from your quarterback.
Good call, Grease. Get some help from behind as well, forcing Russell forward. It looks like he will just have enough for the first.
A lot of times you can tell when a quarterback's going to sneak because he'll put 1 foot way back like a sprinter stance. It's hard for the defensive lineman to see that, but you can see it on television.
First down. They'll move the chains. And the clock moving now. And 1:25 left in the half. 23-14 Texas. We've had just about everything, and it's only the first half. Here's Linwood, the ball carrier. Stopped out at the 31-yard line.
Boy, outside of that sneak, we've had 4 or 5 back-to-back Linwood runs. And you just know Kendall Briles is sitting on play action, deep shot. Zamora has been outstanding on deep throws because he's physical.
Baylor has just 1 timeout left. They continue to run the football with Linwood. And he's sent back by Puna Ford.
Take another timeout right here. It's a good timeout.
It's a good timeout and their last timeout. 42 seconds left here in the half.
Well, we know their schedule's been light, right? It's been light for 3 years. So, third straight time they've been 6-0, but you see there, TCU, Oklahoma. Kansas State's no pushover.
But you can only beat who's on your schedule and who's in your conference, and well, they've done that.
Are you abdicating them from their non-conference schedule?
I'm just saying. The only FBS program to start 6-0 each of the last 4 seasons, the Baylor Bears. 3 times they've started 7-0, 1980, 2013, and 2015.
Now, I know what you're going to say, you know, well, SMU, you know, they beat Houston.
Well, I wouldn't do that to you. Because A plus B never equals C.
Well, this will be indefensible if and when you get to the end of the season and that committee looks at it. It's the same way it's been the last 3 years.
And, of course, they're trailing here today. 11th play of the drive. They're out of timeouts on 3rd and 2. Russell. That's been some of their best offense. He's got the first down. Malik Jefferson attacked.
He's really underrated in terms of his speed. He actually ran a 4.6 last spring for NFL scouts, and this guy can flat out run.
There are a lot of people who thought he was in Heisman contention before the neck injury. That's time it's Terrence Williams.
Yeah, I get it. You got to throw the ball here.
I don't understand.
Well, the 3rd down was okay because you got a first down and stop the clock. But this is where you got to throw the football. You only got 16 seconds. Now Charlie Strong's going to take a timeout.
Especially with their kicking situation.
Texas calls their final timeout of the half. Please set the game clock to 14 seconds. 1-4.
Texas doing them a bit of a favor there, no?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's... Listen, we know Baylor. They're not playing for field goals, right? They're playing for touchdowns. If you're running the ball here just thinking you're going to kick a field goal, that's one thing. But they don't do that, and their field goal kicker has been inconsistent. So I'm not sure why they haven't started taking a couple shots to the end zone.
And they've shown no urgency on this particular drive.
Again, I thought it was a good call to run Seth Russell to get the first down.
Well, what about
get up there and clock it?
First and second down.
Then get up there and clock it.
Yeah.
If you need time, get up there and clock it. So get a good play call. But to run again, now you just burned 23 seconds off the clock. And they were helped out by Charlie Strong calling the timeout.
And he must have felt his guys needed the breather. I mean, on this drive, just one pass. That was the 17-yarder to Cannon. 14 seconds left in the half. Neither club has a timeout. Now they're throwing. Back shoulder throw is caught. Touchdown. It is KD Cannon. Baylor knew exactly what they were doing all along. Touchdown Bears.
They finally got to it. Just thought they might want to get to it a little bit sooner. Holton Hill has lost confidence. It's pretty clear that he has been targeted for the last month of the season and hasn't played up to standard. And you got one of the best wide receivers in college football in KD Cannon. Why not throw the ball up? And that's exactly what happens. Beautiful throw from Seth Russell on the back shoulder fade.
I hate that Texas timeout prior to that.
Yep.
Right, that gave Baylor the break they needed. And now Chris Callahan puts it through. And the only difference right now between Texas and Baylor is that safety, thanks to a holding penalty in the end zone.
You've had some great defensive plays by this secondary of Texas, but this one is not. Right out here on the outside, one-on-one coverage, you know it. Look at where this ball's placed. I mean, that could not be walked to him any better. My only question is, did Holton Hill expect some help over the top from Dylan Haynes, the safety? You see him coming in your screen right there. But it's hard to defend a perfectly thrown ball.
So, Breeze, aren't Baylor fans wondering, why aren't we throwing the ball down the field more? You have mentioned that on more than one occasion this afternoon.
Texas played pretty well defensively in the secondary, but it's been P.J. Locke, right? It's been John Bonney. They have made some plays on deep balls But Holton Hill has given up 2 touchdowns now. Remember the Ishizamura touchdown where we thought it might be offensive PI? That was on Holton Hill, and certainly that one was as well.
And all of a sudden, Katie Cannon's become a factor, right? We said, where's he been? He throws the great pass that's nullified because of a penalty. Now they start going to him.
All that being said, Texas is winning the game.
Right. Exactly. Picked up by the up back. That's Quincy Vassar. Out to about the 38-yard line. Tomorrow morning on ESPN. Get your NFL Sunday started off on the right foot. 10 a.m. Eastern, it's NFL Insider Sunday edition. Then at 11 a.m., join Chris Berman, Wendy Nix, and the best in the business for Sunday NFL Countdown. And this week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Sam Bradford and the NFC North leading Vikings. Jay Cutler's back. Cutler and the Bears will go out at 8:15. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 6.
They're going to take a knee, but Texas will get the ball to start the second half, and that'll be probably the most important drive of the season for Texas offensively.
I don't know how we're going to recap that first half. Stay tuned for Stan Verrett, Mark May, Mac Brown of the Capital One halftime report.
You're watching ESPN on ABC.
Welcome back to ESPN on ABC. College football presented by Kay Jewelers. See some of the numbers from the first half. 8th-ranked Baylor trailing Texas by a safety, by 2. Why wouldn't they be? You see the total yards. Pretty even time of possession. The same story. Gives you a close ball game. We say once again, good afternoon. Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy, Todd McShay shortly. Let me be honest with you. We'd love to recap the first half. We just don't have time because simply everything happened. So let's spin forward.
Please.
How does Texas hang on and score what would be an unbelievable victory for themselves?
Well, I think they've played good enough defensively. Neither team has played great defense. We saw 300 yards for both offenses, but I think Deontay Foreman needs to be a focal point in the second half. More so to protect their defense, because we know when you go against Baylor offensively, your defense is going to play a lot of snaps.
He's already over 100 yards, 128
128
yards in that first half. Been terrific. First 5.5 minutes of the game with 4 touchdowns. Then things slowed down. Penalties, replays, and then things picked up again in the last couple of minutes of that rather long first half.
Midway through the second quarter, I was going to think we're going to have to get you some water or something, some breather, some oxygen.
You know, I asked you about making your flight tonight. I'm not sure you make your flight for tomorrow either at this rate. Getting ready for third quarter action. And Texas will get the football to open up the third quarter.
I think the biggest thing, if you were Charlie Strong in that locker room at halftime, I'm sure he called out the effort after the loss to Kansas State a week ago, losing 4 out of the last 5. He's got to be happy with the way this team has come out and fought in the first half, but there's 30 more minutes.
Baylor has outscored the opposition in the second half this season, 103-45. So that'll be something to watch for as well. Texas will take a knee. Welcome back, our pal Todd McShay.
Steve, you guys mentioned it. Deontay Foreman really was the story in the first half for Texas. Great job running between the tackles, breaking tackles, creating yards on his own, and his offensive line really did a nice job of opening up some run creases. Overall, I thought he was the most important aspect of the offense, although he's got to chill on that Heisman post a little bit early there. He has got to get going, as Brian was saying, in the second half. They've got to be able to run the football, and an undersized defense, especially in the defensive front from Baylor, will be worn down late in this game. That's when they've got to really exploit it.
That's something Sterling Gilbert told us about. They want to run downhill. Baylor has one 300-pounder up front, and that's Ira Lewis. He's exactly 300 pounds. He said the Texas running backs are just as big as their defensive line. Now with Baylor on defense here, we do want to update the injury to Graylin Arnold, the true freshman out of Kuntz, Texas. We're told he had a CT scan on his neck, results negative. He's undergoing an MRI right now. And again, we'll keep you posted. Here's Foreman trying to run away from people, and he is brought down from behind, and the football comes out. They're going to say he was down. Jamison Houston was able to make the tackle from behind after Foreman exploded.
Well, Ryan Stewart has got to be a key in the run game in the second half for Baylor defensively. He has consistently been out of place. You got to take on that block, constrict that hole, and allow your linebackers to make the play.
Let's see if they're going to look at that. Initial call on the field was he was down before the football came out.
The previous play is under further review.
Of course, start the first play of the second half with a review. Same thing, same guy, Jamison Houston, who caused the fumble against Amani Foreman. Now his twin brother tries to do the same thing, but Deontay Foreman goes to the ground. I think that's a good call of a down runner.
That was a 40-yard gain there. And either way, he'll go over 1,000 yards for the season. The last 1,000-yard running back for Texas in the season, Jamal Charles.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Jamal Charles in 2007. That's the last Texas running back to have a 1,000-yard rushing season. And now Deontay Foreman can join him.
It's a great start. We talked about the importance of him in this second half. Feed him and allow this offensive line, which we didn't really mention. Jake McMillan is starting at the left guard spot for the first time in place of Patrick Vahe and a true freshman center.
And big runs, big chunk runs for Foreman. Here's Andrew Beck, the tight end, making his first grab of the afternoon and second of the season.
I like that play call from Sterling Gilbert. I haven't talked a whole lot about him, but in his first year, he's this offensive coordinator mixing things up.
Give it right back to Foreman. He's down to the 10.
One of the criticisms of Sterling Gilbert so far this season has been that there hasn't been a whole lot of creativity. It's been really hitch on the outside or throw the ball deep, and then the run game has been pretty simple as well. And that's tough. You've got a true freshman playing quarterback. You've got a true freshman playing at the center position. He's hiding. There he is.
Tyrone Swoops is in the game once again. And this time, he gets the snap and hands off to Foreman, who was taken down from behind by K.J. Smith. Nice tackle there.
K.J. Smith's one of the only holdovers on this defensive line for Baylor. A tremendous player. He's got the most experience up front. We're going to need him in the second half of this game. Baylor needs to show me something on defense, because 300 yards in the first half and 23 points not acceptable.
Again, it's Swoops. This is the 18-wheeler package. We saw him featured as a running back mostly in the first half, Swoops, with Buechele in there handing it off to him. But on this series, it's Swoops taking the snaps. 4th and 4. What do you want to do?
I think you got to take the points here, especially up 2.
Here's Trent Domain out of the hold of Trey Holtz. That name sounds familiar. That's Lou's grandson.
25-yard field goal attempt.
Here's Domain from 25 yards away. 9 of 13 field goals on the season, and he's got that to go. Texas expands on their lead. Longhorns by 5.
Alabama, they're the best team in America.
Is Michigan the #1 team in the country?
Number one thing the committee has to do, get the 4 best teams in the playoff.
College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
It's easy, as Reese said. Just get the best 4 teams in the playoff. What's the issue, Reese? No problem at all.
It's going to be fun.
Thought Baylor might be in the mix. Not if they lose here today.
No room for error for the Big 12. It's Baylor, and that's it.
With West Virginia losing. Talked about the 7 ranked undefeated teams on the road this afternoon. West Virginia goes down, and now Baylor is trailing by 5, but they will get the football here.
It's pretty interesting here in the second half. You know, Seth Russell's waited his turn. He waited a long time. 5th-year senior. He had to wait behind Nick Florence, had to wait behind Bryce Petty, and now they're 6-0, and they got their shot. You know, there's been a lot of stuff going on off the field, but he's been the calm in the storm. The second half on the road, down 5 points. This is where you want to be. This is where we find out about Seth Russell.
Again, he has not experienced a loss as starting quarterback. 14-0 as a starter. How about his touchdown interception ratio? 50-10. So 5 times. Dylan Haynes makes the tackle on Shockland with that time.
You know, not to take anything away from Seth Russell, but he hasn't done it against the best teams in the Big 12, right? I mean, last year he was hurt. He didn't play against Oklahoma, didn't play against TCU. Probably his best wins against Oklahoma State. So do it on the road here against a Texas team that's playing a little bit inspired today.
Texas has scored every way possible. They've got touchdowns, extra points, field goal, and safety, of course. Williams, the ball carrier there. Bring up a 3rd down. Russell started the scoring in this game with a 50-yard run right up the middle and then down the sideline. Here's Terrence Williams up the middle. Williams brought down from John Bonney, but not until a gain of 25.
Look at that hole. Kyle Fuller, the senior center, gets up on the linebacker Freeman. That is too much space on the inside of Texas defense.
It's Williams again, and again it's a seam up the middle. Taking on Jason Hall. Another big gain right through the heart of that Texas defense.
And that time it's Feuerbacher, the tight end, coming through on the linebacker Freeman. This is the bread and butter for Baylor. They spread you out, and then they run power in between the tackles.
Williams goes for 26 after running for 25. And Texas will bring them a little bit closer to earth there with a gain of 5.
This kind of attack is just demoralizing for a defense when you get big chunks like this on the ground.
And they don't give it to Williams. Russell, the ball carrier, and Brecklin Hager wasn't buying it.
Great job by Brecken Hager. So playing on the outside. He started as a Mike linebacker, and Charlie Strong moved him. Said he's one of the more emotional players on this team. So his brother Bryce played linebacker for Baylor. It was an outstanding career. And Brecken just starting his as a sophomore.
3rd down and 8. Making some noise. The shadows start to cover DKR, Texas Memorial Stadium. Russell again going to take off. Has the 1st down and then is hit up high, and the ball came out momentarily. Chris Boyd put a good lick on the quarterback Russell, who it looked like was going into a slide and then didn't.
Yeah, well, his feet have really hurt Texas in this game. Right at that point, he's still, how many of these are we going to have, these close shots? Is it crown of the helmet? It certainly looks like his head goes down.
When in doubt, in this case,
under further review.
Exactly.
Yep. So defenders need to start learning that you can't do this. You can't dip your head. You can't put that crown of your helmet anywhere near that running back, and it's going to be called. And Chris Boyd, by the letter of the law, he's going to be kicked out of the game.
He lowered the helmet.
Not only that, you do it in the open field. Everybody sees it, and it's against a quarterback. I mean, that's going to get called. Tackle, like wrap your arms. He's not tackling there. He's trying to get a big shot on a quarterback, and it's tempting because, you know, quarterbacks in the open field, you want to get a good hit on them. Keep your face mask up and wrap.
Maybe knock the ball free. Get the big shot.
Yep. But we've seen Texas has not been anywhere near the kind of tackling team they need to be all year, and this is another example.
And Russell almost sees him too late. I thought he was going to go down into a slide there. His feet are forward, but that has nothing to do with this conversation.
He was certainly available to be hit.
Yeah, if you're going to give yourself up, you need to give yourself up well before that.
Again, what another big third down conversion from Seth Russell with his feet. I mean, it really hasn't been as much his arm as it has been him on the ground.
And it's all been on the ground this drive. 7 plays, 69 yards. Russell has yet to put it in the air.
See it in real speed.
I think even before the contact, he thought about a slide well before that, then thought he could get the first down.
Well, you can see that what Jim Grobe has been telling him, be smart when you use your wheels. He's thinking about it. As soon as he got the first down, he said, well, maybe I did what I need to do to get down, but then there's nobody there. And he gets a couple more yards, and Kendall Browse does not want to see his quarterback get hit like that. Again, Jarrett Stidham transferred. He's gone. They've got a true freshman in Zach Smith as the backup, and this is the number 8 team in the country with explosive offense and an opportunity to go win the Big 12. They need Seth Russell if they're going to do that.
Russell has carried the football 52 times coming into this game. 302 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns.
He's got 10 rushes already in this game for 72 and a touch.
Rushed for a couple of touchdowns in their last game. And, of course, the touchdown today that started all the scoring was a 50-yard touchdown run. And this is taking longer than usual as well. You want to get this right. An ejection of Boyd happening here, even though it's early in the second half, would mean he'd have to miss the first half of next game.
After further review, number 2 is not guilty of targeting. The ruling on the field stands. First down.
Boy, if only we had the camera on Greasy for the reaction to that. No, really tough. How do you know, man?
Well, you know, just be consistent.
We're being told that he did not hit him, that Boyd did not hit Russell with the crown of his helmet.
All right, I'm done trying to guess on those things. Just tell us what happens.
Russell appears to be okay from the hit. How his face mask didn't explode is something. First and goal now. Right up the middle with Terrence Williams. Baylor continues to keep it on the ground. Jason Hall made the stop from his free safety position.
I really think this second half is going to go to whichever offensive line exerts their will.
Go quick again. Again, it's Williams. He pounds down to the 3-yard line. Third and goal upcoming.
Huge third and goal here because Jim Grobe does not want to make a decision on 4th down in this situation. They're bringing in the extra tight end, Tecklenburg. So there's 2 tight ends in the game. And now Texas is going to try to substitute. And because Baylor substitute, they'll give them time to do so.
Now the official get out of the way. Russell under center. Hands it through to Williams. Second effort, got a little push from behind. They're going to say touchdown.
He got a little help from his tight end, Furbacher. He was stopped initially. Take a look at Williams. He stopped initially, but great job keeping driving his legs. Look at number 85 in white. That's Furbacher. This is legal, as we know now, to help your teammate get in the end zone, and a nice job by Williams of extending that football, because if he doesn't, I think it would have brought up a 4th down.
And Williams just brings an extra element of power to the run game, which Baylor loves. If they're going to run, it's going to be downhill because they've got the numbers in the box. And you see there, Williams, the ability to break tackles multiple times on that drive. Obviously, Shock Linwood, the starter, very productive player, but I think Williams brings a different element.
And Chris Callahan boots it through. 10 plays, 78 yards, all on the ground. 3 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock.
A slugfest going here.
And for the first time since that 7-0 Baylor lead, the Bears are back on top.
College football presented by K Jewelers. Brought to you by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. And the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, everywhere.
Music to my ears. Following the Nebraska-Wisconsin game tonight on ESPN. Stay tuned for SportsCenter at night. John Anderson and Nicole Briscoe. All the news and highlights and analysis. Game 4 of the World Series. How good has that World Series been?
Oh, man.
College football, NBA, NHL, NFL, everything else you need to know. SportsCenter at night after college football on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Have you had any withdrawal from SportsCenter? I mean, you miss it?
I get my fill on Monday nights.
Yeah, that's quick.
You know, Seth Russell didn't get a chance to play in this game. He said he watched it on the sideline. It was tough for him to watch. The reason he was watching, because just over a year, about a year and a week ago, took that hit.
Scary.
And that was a season ender.
Yeah, broke his neck. He wanted to go back in a game. Didn't really realize how serious it was, but it came out, and then he was in a neck brace, and this hit, boy. You know, he didn't get hit in the spring. Didn't get hit in fall camp. The first time he got hit was when the first game of the year this year, so he hadn't played a whole lot with that coming off that neck injury, but it's good to see he's back healthy.
Broke the C6 vertebrae. Said he was 2 millimeters from never walking again. Now he's back on the football field taking shots like that last one, which, by the way, was not targeting. Just so there's no confusion. I knew it all along, dude. Come on, man. Not a chance.
I'll tell you what, somebody's better figure out how to tackle number 33 in the burnt orange. I mean, they can't get him on the ground. It's taking 2 and 3 guys, but Deontay Foreman, he is starting to wear on this Baylor defense.
185 rushing yards today, over 1,000 for the season.
Whoops.
I mean, if that was a fake, that was really a fake. Bouchel turned one way and Foreman went the other.
Faked you out?
Not me, I saw it all the way.
There's a big hole there. You know, both these backs, you know, it's been mostly Deontay Foreman for Texas, but it's been a combination of Linwood and Williams for Baylor. But you get the sense that whatever team is able to run the football and protect their defense in the second half is going to have the chance to win the game.
Terrence Williams had 7 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown on that last drive alone. Handoff. Foreman, nothing doing there. Baylor defense finally figured it out with Xavier Jones.
That's a good adjustment there by Xavier Jones with just a little pinch. He's going to come inside, and he beats the block of Beck, the tight end. Nice job by Phil Bennett with a little bit of an adjustment on a 3rd down situation to get some penetration.
And on his 24th carry, Grease, that's his first losing carry, where a loss of yardage. That's impressive. Troy Nicholson is back for Baylor. Punt in the air. Nicholson a few steps back and then looking at some running room, but he'll call for the fair catch at the Baylor 12. Bears get the football. 8th in the nation, undefeated, and up by 2 here at Texas.
Cassidy Hubbard with your studio updates with quite a game between Utah and Washington. Troy Williams to Evan Moiai ties things up at 24. Now in the Big Ten, Ohio State's Curtis Samuels breaks the tie with Northwestern. Buckeyes up 24-17 in the 4th. Steve, Brian, Saab, back to you.
Cass, thank you. Just a comparison, that Northwestern Ohio State game started at the same time as our game did, right? They're a full quarter ahead of us. Cass said there's like 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. We've got 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Terrence Williams, as both Brian and Todd suggested, give him the football again. Why not?
Oh, man. Well, he's hard to bring down. That time he shows you elusiveness in the backfield. Puna Ford, come on a little pirate stunt, slanting inside, had him dead to rights, but he's just too quick.
17. Texas is going to have to make an adjustment. They're backing off their safety so much, concerned with the wide receivers in terms of their splits.
Well, Todd, they've also made an adjustment. As you see Williams again, they're only playing with 3 down linemen. They've moved Hager from defensive end to linebacker. They're trying everything they can, Charlie Strong is, but nothing's working against that man.
2nd and 4. This time they flip it out to him. We'll see where they spot that.
This offense is so tough because they spread you from sideline to sideline with speed at the wide receiver position. See these guys way out here outside the numbers. You have to play it as a defense, but then this is where they really kill you, right in the middle.
3rd and 1. Russell keeps it himself. And he's across midfield. Dylan Haynes dropped him, but not until he had 1st down yardage.
That was a great fake there by Russell.
It's crafty, huh, Todd?
I like it.
He's a big target, though. I want him to get down. Get your 1st down and get down.
Going to give Williams a break. JaMychal Hasty has checked in. And Russell to throw. And it's knocked away. K.D. Cannon was the intended target. Dylan Haynes came over. That could have easily been picked off, too.
Wow, this was a touchdown. Look at Haynes' left hand. Just barely. That ball was a dime to K.D. Cannon. If Haynes doesn't get that hand up, that's 6 points. Haynes isn't the fastest. He's not the biggest, but he's smart, and he can make those plays.
That's Russell's first pass play of the quarter. And we have 5 minutes left in the 3rd. Hasty stays in there. As the single setback.
Haynes is really the only true veteran on that defense in the secondary. 28 starts, the most of any defensive player for the Longhorns.
Hand off to Hasty. His first carry of the game. 47th carry of the season. Grease, can you have a dime that gets knocked away?
It's a good question.
I mean, I'll talk to Trent Dilfer, who invented the dime.
Call it a nickel.
Dilfer's dime. You don't get as much for your money anymore. I would think a dime cannot be batted away.
Huge 3rd down here. Will Texas decide to bring some kind of pressure, some combination of these 5 guys in the middle to get after Seth Russell? Malcolm Roach, 32, has been their best pass rusher.
And Williams is not in there. Russell keeps it. Has 1st down yardage. Now will slide forward, take another shot to the head up high from Malik Jefferson.
Well, the next adjustment has to be Texas defensively with a spy on the quarterback. He has killed you with his feet. You have to have somebody, whether it's Malik Jefferson or Jason Hall as safety. You cannot continue to allow him that much space to run.
Russell 12 carries for 89 yards. And with Terrence Williams back in the game, he got just enough of a break. He's brought down to the 18, and I mean brought down by Chris Boyd.
Watch these defensive linemen. They're getting tired. They're getting tired. A lot of plays.
Great job following his lead block there.
17 on that game.
What a luxury. You take Shock Linwood, the all-time career leader at Baylor, out of the game. You got a guy like Terrence Williams in there.
Williams isn't going anywhere. He's just a sophomore. How about that? Russell floats one to Jordan Furbacher, the tight end.
They love using their tight ends creatively. They ask them to do a lot of the dirty work in protection and lead blocking, but they will feed them inside the red area.
That pass and catch good for 11. Here's Russell. He's just throwing that one away. Russell took a shot.
Charlie Strong's had enough. Decided to bring pressure all out. Nope. Man-to-man on the outside. And
all right, not much of a shot.
Good job throwing that away. Well, there you can throw it away, but you got to throw it in the area of the receiver.
Intentional grounding by number 17 of the offense. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul, and it's 2nd down.
The receiver over there on the left side of the field near the front pylon, but Seth Russell threw it so high and so far out of bounds that it was very clear he was just dumping the football. you're going to do that, you can't throw it so far out of bounds. Throw it right over his head.
Lost it down on the play. And some more confusion. Russell's got his palms in the air. What's up?
Trying to find the right spot of the football. She's trying to find out.
The spot of the foul was the 14-yard line.
Texas defense has got to find some well of energy to rush the passer in this situation. Can't allow him to sit back in the pocket. And please, by all means, for Texas, have a spy on the quarterback.
So it's 2nd and goal out of the 14. Give this to Williams. He's down to the 11.
You've got man-to-man coverage, at least on that last play on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run-pass option throw the ball.
RPO.
There you go.
Everyone loves saying it these days, right?
I like throwing the ball in the end zone. Weakness of this Texas defense is their secondary.
A delayed handoff to Williams, and Anthony Wheeler wasn't fooled by it. 4th and goal.
Well, I don't get that. I mean, you might get 6-7 yards on that, but you're not gonna get 12. Interesting.
There's some questionable play calling. Here's Chris Callahan. See Callahan 6 of 10 on the season from field goal range. This is from 27 yards away. And with authority, he boots that through. It's a 5-point game once again. 2:16 to play. In the 3rd, not the 4th.
To joining the Texas Cowboys and hook 'em horns.
Thanks, fellas. It goes off for safeties, too, as we found out earlier.
Yeah, caught you by surprise.
Goes on for touchdown. They go for the safeties as well. Ryan and Cy and the rest of the Texas Cowboys. Honorary men's service organization of the university responsible for keeping and maintaining Smokey the Cannon. One of the hundreds of great traditions in college football.
They got a chuck wagon on, too? They do that?
Not sure. That was not on the card.
Oh.
I'll check on that.
You'd be interested, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. Bouchel, little pump fake, and held on to the football too long as he was brought down. Ira Lewis knocking him to the turf.
You know, we talked about Shane Bouchel, and you can see him thinking as the game goes on. First read not there. Now he knows he wants to get rid of the ball, but you can almost see him say, wait a minute, I'm still in the pocket. So he just eats it.
There's his dad. That's Steve Bouchel. 11 big league seasons. Now the Texas Rangers coaching staff.
That's picked off.
Baylor says they've got it, and they do.
I think that was Trayvon Blanchard. That was in man coverage as a linebacker. And he's just fighting for the football, trying to jam that ball in there. And Blanchard, who has made mistakes in this game, has missed some tackles, some big tackles, comes up with a huge play for the Baylor Bear defense. Trying to get it to Warwick there. And it's a great job. Did he catch it? It's a question.
Wonder if Bouchel was still rattled, Grease, after taking that sack on the play before.
Well, there's going to be plays like this, you know, where you got to try to force a ball in here or there. He's throwing a little bit behind Warwick, the wide receiver. See if this ball touches the ground. He's got that right arm underneath it.
They're going to take a look.
The ruling on the field of an interception is under further review.
Would be Texas's third turnover of the afternoon if it stands.
This is a big play. They should stop this and take another look. It certainly looked like he had that right arm underneath the football. It's hard to tell. You keeping track on the number of replays we got going today?
Trying to keep track of the score, okay? Yeah, we were wearing out the replay, and lengthy replays also.
And none of them have been easy.
No gimmies.
Not one of them. I don't see anything there that would overturn that call on the field. And, you know, give some credit to that official in the middle of the field, was looking right at him. And that's maybe our best look.
Baylor thinks they have a gimme. Give me the football.
He caught it with one arm. It's just his right arm because his left was behind him. Great play by Blanchard. Zoom in there. You can see he controls the ball. I don't think it touched the ground. I mean, I can't see it touch the ground from that angle.
Corey Warwick is the intended target there.
Blanchard missed the first 2 games of this season with an injury. And he is that hybrid style of player that Phil Bennett really needs, especially in the Big 12, where you need those linebackers that can cover, not only rush and play the run, but that can cover wide receivers in the slot. That's a skill. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, kind of like, you know, these hybrids we're seeing with the Jabril Peppers of the world, and makes a big play in his pass game.
Does not have an interception this season. This would be his first if it stands.
Love when these guys get together on the sideline away to call. It's like they're playing the Family Feud, you know, waiting to see it. They got their answer right.
Do I see?
Give me.
Right. We are wearing out the replay booth here today.
Said you called one of the longest games in history, right? Hockey.
That was overtime. We're not even in the fourth quarter, Grease.
Here we go.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It's 4th down.
Okay, there you have it.
What a break. What a break for Texas. Don't necessarily, I didn't see anything on our replay, but
Blanchard will grab the old helmet, strap it back on again. Try to make another big play. It's 4th and 11.
you know, we haven't talked much about Michael Dixon, the punter for Texas, but he's having an outstanding game, averaging over 50 yards, 53 yards a punt in this game. Big advantage, flipping field position.
Need a big one here. Got it away with some pressure in his face. It was Blanchard who brought the pressure. Nicholson will try to make the move and does. Tony Nicholson with a fine return. And so Baylor does get the football, and they do so with terrific field position. How about this beauty tonight? Clemson and Florida State will go at it. 3 versus 12 tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football. Some of Brian and Todd's keys to the game.
Yeah, Todd, I think they got to clean up the turnovers. They've had 10 in the last 3 games Clemson has. If they want to win this game on the road, they got to clean that up.
DeAndre Francois got to just get with the moment. You know, he cannot let that situation in the game be bigger than him. And he also defensively got to get after that offensive line for Clemson.
Russell wants to carry it again and does. Spun around, but not until he has the first down and then some more. And that ball nearly came out. Had it poked from behind. Nahshon Hughes eventually dragged him down. But that's another big game on the ground for Seth Russell.
Well, tackling has been an issue. This time Bonnie has his opportunity to get him on the ground. But, you know, you don't solve your tackling issues overnight. That's an epidemic that has been rampant in this Texas defense all season long. Charlie Strong's worked on it, but hurt him there.
Seth Russell is over 100 yards rushing on the ground for Baylor. Final 15 seconds left in this third quarter.
I think Baylor's going to let it run out. I don't know that that's how Jim Grove and Kendall Briles want it to be every week, with Seth Russell carrying that many times. I mean, 14 rushes in 3 quarters, quite a bit.
But they need this game.
Yep.
They got to have this game if they want to wind up where they want to be. That's in the college football playoff. Baylor by 5 will go to the 4th. Welcome back to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by K Jewelers. What does Bevo get, Vic?
I don't know. Corn?
It is 6 o'clock here in Houston.
It's hungry.
Dinner time. Austin, Texas.
I'm a little disappointed that Todd's not feeding him out of his hand.
If he'll let me use his mister, I'll go in and hang out with him.
Out of his hand. You saw one of the eye-popping numbers. The football comes out. Texas has it. Jermichael Hasty fumbling. P.J. Locke on the spot.
Wow, Jermichael Hasty comes in. They've been slamming Williams, slamming Shock Linwood, and you bring in Hasty. I understand why you do it, but after a change of the quarter, you figure those guys are rested. Why bring Hasty in at that point in time?
How good has Locke been, too? He's been in the middle of everything.
Credit Boyette, too, the senior defensive tackle. Looks like he's the one that got the mitt in there. Number 93 right there.
Yes. The left hand. Big club. Why'd they shoot the cannon off, by the way? Good for turnovers, too?
I don't know, but it scared me. I'm standing like 20 yards away from it. Hey, came into the game, Texas did 90th in the FBS with just 9 takeaways. Done a great job taking away the football defensively today.
Here's Foreman to the outside. Has a seam. And then some. And he's dragged down from behind by Trayvon Blanchard. But not until he had a big gain.
Boy, he has more speed than you realize, and he went down hard. Boy, he's reaching at that back. God, he has run hard today. He's run hard in between the tackles, and you don't realize that time he outran the safety. Chance was. Hopefully he just had the wind knocked out of him.
It's a 32-yard gain.
See how he goes down. Take a look at the speed. This was 18. Just runs right around it. 250. He's up. Looks like he's going to be all right.
He's been all right to this point. 25 carries for 215 yards.
Yeah,
that's a new career high for the junior from Texas City. 9th consecutive 100-yard rushing game, and then some.
He also makes a lot of calls back where the quarterback typically would make in terms of how many guys are in the box, and is part of that decision-making pre-snap. And he's, like I said earlier, one of the best pass protectors at the running back position in the country. So the versatility is there.
That's a great point, Ty. You got to be smart to do that. Make those calls up front for your quarterback, and he's got a freshman quarterback. Help him out.
Tyrone Swoops is in the game with Buechele. They fake it to him, and Buechele throws and could not connect with Devin Duvernay. Thought we were going to see more out of Duvernay today as well. We haven't really.
Well, he has had some explosive plays in games, 3 60-plus yard touchdowns, but in the other snaps in those games, it hasn't done a whole lot. Okay, so it's been hit or miss with Duvernay.
There's still a lot of time left to see him.
Well, and Tyrone Swoops out there giving a blow to Foreman.
Buechele doesn't look like he's real patient there with that play call. With 5 on the play clock, they do get it off. Buechele with some pressure throws it out and completes to Warwick.
Well, and without Foreman out there on this 3rd down, let's take a look at how Shane Buechele manages the protection, because Foreman's not there to help him. Maybe Swoops, being a former quarterback, certainly think he would be able to help.
Warwick's first catch.
Swoops has been great. One of those selfless players,
great
right?
point. Let's get that in,
Selfless players. He'll do anything for his team. He was beaten out by a true freshman quarterback, but he's there for his team.
He's there for his team right now. The ball carrier, Swoops, is bounced backwards with authority. Avion Edwards sends a message along with Xavier Jones.
And this is an example of how valuable Deontay Foreman is to this offense. Without him, there's no threat to run the football. I know Swoops is doing his best, but he's a quarterback. He's not a running back. Without Foreman in the game, they kind of lose direction.
Sterling Gilbert, the offensive coordinator, said of Swoops is one of my favorite players to ever coach. And we've all got little girls in our lives. And he said he's one of those kids you'd let marry your daughter, which is the ultimate of compliments. Talking about Tyrone Swoops. And that punt. See where they down it. No, they're going to say touchback.
Wow, that was Chris Boyd trying to make an athletic play to keep that ball. But it's where the ball is that matters. Despite the fact that it's a great athletic play, unlike the NFL, it's not where the person is, it's where the ball is.
A 56-yard
An illegal
punt.
formation on the kicking team. There were 5 in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty added at the dead ball spot. First down.
Early stages, quarter number 4. It's been, let's say, an eventful afternoon. We've got a whole lot more football for you still to come.
Cassidy Hubbard with your studio update. A couple top 10 teams with some scares. Dante Pettis with a 58-yard punt return, which would be the difference as number 4 Washington survives 31-24 to remain unbeaten. Number 6 Ohio State with the 4-point win over Northwestern. And Steve, I wasn't delivering finals to rub it in at all.
Yeah, we've got almost the whole fourth quarter still to come here for you, Cass. 13-14 left to go, and Katie Cannon reintroduced himself into this offense. Chris Boyd had the coverage.
What a gritty win by the Huskies going on the road. That is a difficult place to play. Things didn't go their way. Find a way to win.
2nd and 6 after the short completion. Here's Terrence Williams.
He almost lost that football.
Yes. You heard the gasp from the crowd. Anthony Wheeler, the tackle.
He lost it and then just got it back.
Did he? Jeez. Both teams have had 2 turnovers, but there's been a lot of footballs on the ground.
Fortunate bounce. Russell, the good play fake, and hits Zamora, and he loses possession. Right by the out-of-bounds marker. John Bonney on the coverage.
They haven't had a whole lot of passing in this game. Seth Russell's only attempted 24 balls. Shane Buechele, 18.
He's got 70 more passing yards than rushing yards, Russell does. Williams, the ball carrier.
Williams has been in the whole second half.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something wrong with Shock Linwood on the sideline, or they're just going with the hot hand.
But he's got his helmet off, but he's standing by the coaches.
Russell throwing this time across the middle off the hands. Couldn't hook up with Chris Platt. Threw the fastball in there.
Yeah, that was a heater. That's watch how fast he's anticipating. Going to throw it right around the linebacker 45 Wheeler. Just a little too high and hard. Plenty arm strength, though. 17.
Your receivers ever complain you were throwing the ball too hard?
No.
That was not your game?
Unless it was a screen pass.
Baylor with 343 yards on the ground today. And again, still a ton more football to be played in a 5-point game. It's Williams, tackled from behind.
And Texas has gone to more of a single high safety look to try to get an extra body inside the box to defend the run. They realize that Baylor is working them up front defensively, and so they're trying to get that extra guy in. You just wonder when they're going to take that shot vertically off of play action.
Got a good shot of Shock Linwood there watching from the sideline. Jermichael Hasty is now in the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've been using Hasty more than Linwood. There's got to be some reason. I don't know if he was banged up or what, but normally this is Linwood's spot.
Baylor's career rushing leader is watching from the sideline. Another great fake by Russell. Leaps a defender and stays on his feet down at the 5. Seth Russell showing all the athleticism. Gain of 29.
Lamar Jackson, who? I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, this is a guy that broke his neck last year. Almost was paralyzed. And that's Dylan Haynes, goes right over.
Dylan Haynes is 6'1". He needed to be 6'8". Maybe that would have been enough for the stop. There's Hasty, the ball carrier.
That's why he doesn't like to go down.
My goodness. What an athlete. You know, we talk a lot about him throwing the football, but what an athlete. Speed, 4.5 speed at that size, 220 pounds, 6'3", to be able to do that, pretty unbelievable. Lamar Jackson, and I'm saying he's not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but that kind of move, Lamar Jackson's 185. This is a big kid.
And when you have that element to the offense when you can run with the quarterback, that's when you get the numbers advantage.
Timeout, Baylor. We come back. I'm going to ask Todd about where Seth Russell is on the NFL radar. That'll open some eyes. Kid can high jump, too.
College football presented by K Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And in part by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And the 2017 Volkswagen Passat. You can get the value of more standard features for less than you expected.
Todd McShay, what kind of NFL prospect is Seth Russell?
I think he's a classic day 3, meaning somewhere between rounds 5 and 7, developmental quarterback where you bring him in, he's got all the tools. He's going to need work, obviously, coming from this system, but he's got size, he's got intelligence, toughness, and he's a phenomenal athlete. Plus, he can throw the ball down the field. So you just have to work with him with the consistency of his release, but he'll get drafted.
Second and goal. Russell going the wrong way that time. Edwin Freeman. I think that's the first time I mentioned Freeman's name today. Slams him back. Russell's vertical is 41.8. Broad jump of 10 feet 4 inches. Both of those are phenomenal marks, I am told.
Yeah, that's like a wide receiver, a really good wide receiver.
41.8. I think I jumped half of that.
I can jump over the Sunday New York Times.
You saw my Lambo leap. Maybe I'm a third.
Big third down here. 5-point lead for Baylor. If Texas can find a way to keep them out of the end zone, make it still keep it at a
3 left on the clock.
game.
Barely get it off in time. Handoff. It's Hasty. Not that time. Going to bring up a 4th and goal.
That's a huge stop. Keep it a 1-score game, even if they make this field goal to make it an 8-point game. Gave up a ton of yards on that drive, but this Texas defense and Charlie Strong find a way to keep them out of the end zone.
Here's Chris Callahan. He is 1 for 1 today. Good from 27. This is from 24. Just a couple of chip shots in their last game against Kansas 2 weeks ago. Everything looking good there. Callahan boots it through. Still a 1-score game. But it's 8th-ranked Baylor by 8. Baylor has scored 13 unanswered points. Take their biggest lead of this afternoon into the early Texas evening. And there you see Charlie's record when trailing after the 3rd quarter.
First time for everything.
Yes, looking for a signature win, a comeback win.
Just looking for a win.
It's only 1 score, right? Any kind of win will do.
Doesn't need a descriptor.
Here at Texas. They've got all the alum and boosters here this weekend for this one. Here's Warwick out to the 15. Trying to make the big return play. He's out to the 21-yard line. Take a look at today's good hands play, brought to you by Allstate. And I use the term good hands sort of loosely there.
Change it to the good feet play.
Check with Allstate on that.
That's
wow.
impressive. That looked like 41 inches right there.
Right? And poor Dylan Haynes. How many times is he going to have to see that?
That will be a poster. There's no question.
Michelle off the play fake. He's throwing too high in the hands of Duvernay, but he couldn't bring it down.
What does Phil Bennett have here in the fourth quarter? This Baylor defense. What is he going to cook up? He loves to bring pressure. We came into this game thinking a true freshman quarterback, a new offensive system for Texas, a true freshman at center. Phil Bennett's going to feast on this offense. And it hasn't played out that way because Deontay Foreman has really controlled this game on the ground. But here in crunch time, what is Phil Bennett going to dial up?
Michelle the pitch to Foreman. Little stutter step. And he'll go out of bounds.
And it's been interesting, the match of wits between Coach Bennett and Sterling Gilbert, the first-time offensive coordinator for Texas. But Coach Gilbert's got an ace in his back pocket in the form of 250-pound Deontay Foreman.
3rd and 5. Michelle's all by himself in the backfield. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Able to get it away and complete. Finds Lorenzo Joe right down the middle of the field. And Joe will be caught from behind at about the 12. Lorenzo Joe, welcome to the game. Gain of 62 on the play.
Talk about the chess match right here. Shane Buechele, he has to see this pressure coming, and he has to identify it quickly and get rid of the football. It's great identification. You saw Avion Edwards, number 20, was unblocked. You get it to Joe, break a tackle, and a big gain for the Longhorns. Take a risk. Phil Bennett, you know that he's going to do this to a young quarterback, and you prepare, you see it, you identify it, then you make the throw.
And just a little shuffle to the left by Buechele. That one step makes all the difference.
See Chance Waz coming up gingerly, but
he was the one who brought him down in the end after the big gain.
You see young quarterbacks mature more than anything in the fourth quarter. How do they play when the game's on the line?
Davion Hall now checks in for Waz. On 1st down and 10. Foreman banging forward to the 10-yard line. This game is begging for overtime, just for those who are thinking about it. It's had everything else. Why not overtime as well in a one-score game? Foreman will slam it up there in the middle again. Avion Edwards will meet him halfway.
We were talking to Deontay last night. He said, my whole high school career, I was used to an extra guy in the box. There's 8, 9 times a guy in the box sometimes. And he said, I just get used to it. And if I'm one-on-one with that last guy, it's my job to make him miss. And he's so physical. But he's shown me today he's got great feet and speed that's underestimated.
3rd and 4. Michelle passing to Andrew Beck. Got there. Touchdown. And we're a 2-point conversion away from a tie game.
Great play call by Sterling Gilbert. Play action. You get it to your fullback. Definitely gets inside that pylon. Now the all-important 2-point conversion. I'm not so sure I don't just give it to Deontay Foreman here in some way or shape or form on the 2-point attempt as well.
Baylor, they were the only team in the FBS to not allow a fourth quarter point.
Baylor calls their first time out of the half.
Now they have
30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
We'll spend the timeout here. Andrew Beck had 1 catch for 39 yards and a touchdown coming into the game. He's got 2 catches for 23 yards. and potentially that game-tying score.
You know, they got Beck singled up on a defensive end, and Greg Roberts. It's great design. You got to respect this guy right here. But this is the guy here, Greg Roberts, playing on the outside that ends up in man-to-man coverage on Beck. And that's a mismatch every time. He's in no man's land. It's an easy touchdown.
Six plays, 79 yards. Only took a minute 51 off the clock. And, of course, the key play was the 61-yard pass play to Lorenzo Joe.
Yeah, Shane Buechele having to use his brain, right? Use your brain to make that play. That was not a physical play, but a mental one that certainly nets an opportunity here for them to tie this football game.
Again, Texas is coming, but it'll probably be next year. As Charlie Strong said, whoever's in this chair, in this office, whether it's him or somebody else, they're going to win 10 games next year.
There's no Foreman on the field in this formation, and there's a
substitution infraction on the defense. There are 12 on the field. Penalties half the distance to the goal.
That's a huge penalty, Steve, because now Foreman wasn't on the field. Now you move it halfway to the two-point conversion, and now you bring in your 18-wheeler package, and you're able to run a football.
And that was out of a Baylor timeout.
Yep. Penalties. You know, Jim Grove said at halftime, penalties have killed the Bears. Certainly this one puts them at risk.
Foreman's in there. So is Tyrone Swoops, as you suggested, Grease.
But Foreman is split out wide. This is Foreman down here.
Ryan Reed is on Foreman. Snap the Swoops. Trying to crash in there. Waiting for the signal, the indication. Nothing yet. Only the Texas players are signaling they got the two-point conversion. None of the guys who count the zebra stripes.
Wow. Avion Edwards, a linebacker, was right there and met
Running on the field was that he was short and did not score.
Give credit to Edwards. See him right here. Both he and ball gets, here comes Blanchard back in. I think that's a great call. I don't think he got across that plane. And that's 250, folks. Tyrone Sweeps coming downhill.
With momentum, yeah. Against an undersized Baylor front.
I'll give them some credit. Those linebackers, that's their job. The ISO right in that situation, you got to stand your ground.
The margin is 2.
Cassidy Hubbard with your studio update, and got another final for you. Notre Dame in Miami. 13 seconds left. Canes down 3. Brad Kaya sacked. Notre Dame wins 30-27. And coming up at 8 Eastern, Sean Watson and number 3 Clemson visiting number 12 Florida State. That one on ABC. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
Yeah, Cass, you might want to hold the kickoff on that one. Tell them we're going to have to slide that back a few minutes. We've got 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 8th-ranked Baylor on the road today here in Austin, Texas. Up by 2. Now they're just shooting off the cannon anytime they feel like. Jermichael Hasty on the return. Won't get to the 25. He is stopped at the 20. Our Goodyear college football rankings. Can't wait for Tuesday night. We got playoff rankings. That'll be interesting.
Well, Louisville got a scare on the road against Virginia. That game was hanging in the balance till the end. Obviously, we talked about the Washington, Utah, Nebraska, Wisconsin.
Northwestern hanging around as you suggested they would. More than hanging around.
Yeah.
That's quality.
Michigan took care of business. That was an impressive win on the road. I know that people thought Michigan State wasn't worth anything, but that is always a hard-fought game between those two.
Mike Reese, here you go. Shock Linwood is back in the game.
Well, Terrence Williams kind of hobbled off the field. They're going to get called for substitution infraction.
An illegal substitution by number 22 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Yeah, Terrence Williams was kind of hobbling off the field. I'm not sure. Now Shock Linwood was on the field, and now he's going to come off. Not sure what's going on there.
Baylor is the only FBS team with four players averaging 50 or more yards on the ground rushing. That's Linwood, that's Williams, that's Hasty, and that's quarterback Seth Russell. Williams, the ball carrier there.
I want to ask Todd if he has any knowledge as to why Shock Linwood is not. Why do you think he's not playing? I don't understand that.
No idea at all. No one said anything from Baylor. He's got his helmet on. He's standing there. As you just alluded to, they put him on the field. So clearly he's medically cleared to be out there.
Here's Russell throwing down the sidelines. Got a man. It's complete. KD Cannon has it. And he's just beyond midfield. Big pitch and catch there.
That's a great route by KD Cannon. You know, you get lulled to sleep. You get Terrence Williams slammed inside for a quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden they raise up and they throw a double move on the outside to KD Cannon. That is so hard on a defense.
That was good for 39. Hey, guys, I know we're wondering about Williams and not Linwood. Maybe Williams just playing great. I mean, he's hot.
Well,
he's running the football great. Maybe that's the reason Linwood can't get back in.
But Hasty keeps coming in. That's the question.
Here is Hasty, the ball carrier.
Shock Linwood's a career leader in rushing yards for the University of Baylor. So,
right. So
something's got to be wrong.
Why did Williams get the opportunity to begin with then? But when Williams has had the opportunity, he's not rushing.
I don't think that Williams looks 100%. He's kind of favoring that right leg. I don't know.
And he's still in there. I know you're not a doctor. You play one on television. Second and 6.
Unless Shock Linwood did something, you know, missed a block or something, or he's in the doghouse. I don't know.
Russell keeps it again. His play fakes are among the best I have seen. Seth Russell seems really good at hiding the football.
Boy, again, 17 rushes for 137 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a clip. I mean, that's impressive.
So 3rd and 1. You're running or throwing here?
Wait, you said there was going to be a huddle. There's a huddle here.
That's the second one today. We got the over.
So that's the over. Very good. They put it on the ground to Williams. Gets just enough. And then a whole lot of burnt orange will jump on top of him, but he has the first down.
Boy, it's been a slugfest in the trenches. This offensive line for Baylor. Blake Blackmar, slow to get up after that last play. Tanner Thrift, Kyle Fuller, Patrick Lauren, Mo Porter. Those guys, you got to give them some credit up front. We've been talking a lot about these backs and Seth Russell, but 4 new starters on the offensive line for Baylor from a year ago, with the only holdover being Kyle Fuller, and they've been up to par in this game.
Coming in, they'd only allowed 4 sacks on the season, too, so they run block and pass block. 30th Baylor first down of the game. Speaking of which, there's the sack. Bryce Cottrell drops Seth Russell in an angry fashion.
Boy, Cottrell, this is a scary situation, especially with a quarterback that there's nobody going to block him. This is a miss. I don't know if it's Hasty's job or the right tackle's job or Seth Russell, but you go down like that and you're risking serious injury.
Loss of 6 on the play. And right after I said how well they protect Russell.
Well, we don't know that that's the offensive line. That could have been Seth Russell's job. Could have been Hasty. You know, it could have been anybody.
2nd and 17. Here comes the pressure right up the middle. Run blitz stops Hasty in his tracks. Chris Nelson stepping in to fill the hole.
I mentioned Blake Blackmar going out of the game.
Texas calls their first time out of the half. 30-second timeout.
I like that Texas timeout.
His replacement is Tanner Thrift. Watch this right here. He's going to miss this inside move. That's his job. Allows Chris Nelson to get a TFL.
Tackle for loss.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Not everybody at home might know what TFL is. I like the timeout there.
Yeah, well, we've seen this, right? We've seen Texas give up some big plays defensively, and then when they get inside the red zone or this red zone fringe area, they've bowed up, and they've kept them out of the end zone at times when they needed to. And another big 3rd down and long situation here. I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor uses 4 downs here with
And this may be a two-down situation, considering how poorly the kicking game has gone for Baylor. They've been talking, even talking to coach earlier, Jim Grove said that Chris Callahan's great in practice, their field goal kicker, but really has just struggled in games with the pressure. So I'm not sure that they would put him in that spot.
3rd and 18.
There's an all-out pressure look. This safety's coming down.
Here they come. Don't get there. Russell's throw could not connect with Katie Cannon.
That's a first miss from Seth Russell. If this ball's thrown inside of Katie Cannon, it's an easy touchdown. We mentioned the all-out blitz. Take a look. If this ball is thrown towards the middle of the field, over here, that's going to be a touchdown to Katie Cannon.
And, of course, the incompletion stops the clock as well. Cannon's been targeted 11 times now, making 4 catches. And they'll look to punt it here. Drew Galitz is standing just on his side of midfield. Pooch kick. Gets the bounce.
Oh, looked like it just crossed.
And that too is the signal for the touchback. Patrick Levels was there. Just not early enough.
Wow. It's great effort.
Goes a 37-yard punt.
Again, great effort by Levels. It's where the football is. Remember, if any part of that football crosses the front edge of that plane right there.
The momentum of Levels taking it with him.
All right, young Shane Buechele, true freshman. Great team in the country here at home. He's already thrown for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. The nice thing is he's got plenty of time. You don't have to rush. He's got 2 timeouts left in 3 minutes.
From their 20, Deontay Foreman looking for a big gain. Not there. Taylor Young saw to that. Brings up 2nd down. Texas taking a lot of time here to snap the football. Buechele doesn't even look as he hands it off to Foreman. And he stopped out of the 36 by Orion Stewart. Matthew McConaughey's not trying to beat the traffic. He's into this game. That's a serious look.
Shouldn't be anybody leaving this stadium.
Gain of 12. 2.5 to play. Here's Buechele. Take a shot. Down the sideline, it was a 50-50 ball that Amani Foreman has. 50-50, and Foreman says, I'll take that.
They're going to get 12 men on the field for Baylor, and it's a great job of Shane Buechele noticing that and taking advantage of the opportunity to take a shot downfield to Foreman.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass for a first down. A substitution infraction is well on the field on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Really veteran job by Foreman there. Monty Foreman, the wide receiver, getting separation with his hands early during the route, pushing off the defender, but not late where the referee would wind up seeing it and calling him for offensive pass interference.
And again, Todd, a great job of Foreman coming back. He had that big drop last week in the game against Kansas State for a touchdown. Comes back and makes a play.
Hand off to Foreman. And now, if you're Baylor, when do you think about spending your timeout?
Good point.
Under 2 minutes to play. Texas trailing by 2. Trent Domain, his long is 43-yard field goal. You see they're already inside his target line.
Well, and the last thing that Charlie Strong and Sterling Gilbert want to do is leave it up to the kicker. They want to go score here. Keep giving it to 33.
And they do. Bring up a 3rd down.
They're going to bring Tyrone Swoops in here in this 18-wheeler package in this 3rd down and 2.5 situation.
Clock is stopped.
Please set the clock at 1:15.
I think they had Orion Stewart. They were looking at him on the defensive side. They're taking him off the field. And that's why the clock stopped.
Charlie Strong told us that Trent Domain doesn't care which side of the field the ball is on to kick it. At the hash mark, which is such a factor to so many kickers, does not seem to impact Domain, so we'll watch for that.
He also knows that he had 3 extra points blocked in the Oklahoma State game. So Charlie Strong, I think, wants to get this first down and get a touchdown.
Right, didn't miss 3 extra points.
Yep,
all 3 blocked. From the here's something you don't see every day department. We've had a lot of conversations on the field today. This has been a complicated football game.
But fun, I tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Please put 40 seconds on the play clock and start on my ready.
Cooper's not fooling around. Start on my ready.
Well, that's important because just in case Texas wanted to run time off the clock, you know, the game clock is running as well. That's why they're making sure they get that right.
Here's Swoops running to his right. Slips down more than he was taken down.
Wow, I'm not sure what that was, Steve. It didn't even look like he was trying to get up the field for the first down. Looked like
Baylor calls their final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout. Please put 50 seconds on the clock. 5-0.
It's fourth down.
A head scratcher there.
Yeah.
You know, you don't put Tyrone Swoops in to run lateral. You run downhill.
Baylor has used their last timeout. Here's our Pacific Life game summary. Where do you want to start? We had 4 touchdowns in the first 5.5 minutes, and it's been chaos ever since. The good kind of chaos. There you see Deontay Foreman, 249 yards. Seth Russell's been doing it on the ground and with his arm. 8th-ranked Baylor, up by 2 here on the road in Austin, Texas.
And I want to just go back. Those 3 extra points that were blocked, they were coming right over the snapper. This is Jack Holbrook. He's 5'10", 204 pounds. That's very small for a snapper. So I would anticipate something from Baylor coming right over the center to try to get some pressure, maybe block this field goal.
Domain came over from LSU. And he is out there to give it a whack.
But you got to be smart because you can't contact that center immediately, right?
Holbrook the snapper. Trey Holtz will hold it for Trent Domain to give Texas the lead. And he does. Texas by 1 with 46 seconds left. All right, he's saying.
What a big-time kick from Trent Domain. That's big time. We've seen a lot of kickers in college football in this situation not able to convert, and give him all the credit in the world to come back from those blocks and trust in your leg, trust in your preparation, puts it right through the middle. How good does that feel for Charlie Strong?
You know what, I wonder if Charlie can enjoy anything until it's over. Well, he's a true fan, real fan.
You know, Charlie, we talked with him yesterday, and he said, you know, obviously I know there's all this talk, but he doesn't pay attention. And I honestly believe him. He is a unique individual. He's been through so much. He's not a neophyte.
Throw man.
Yeah, he's not a neophyte. He understands the situation. He said, you know what? I'll isolate myself. I want to go out. I want to be true and honor these kids and how hard they're going to play. And I want to enjoy it, and they should enjoy it too. And
he's a highly compensated adult. And you understand what you get when you sign up for any head coaching position in the country, but especially here at Texas.
Still a lot of time on the clock. 46 seconds. Not a whole lot of time for some teams, but for Baylor, it's an eternity.
They have no timeouts. But we've seen how explosive Seth Russell has been, especially on the ground. Russell, the quarterback, is 131 yards rushing in the game, 215 passing.
And now if you're Charlie Strong, you've got some tough decisions to make in terms of how much pressure you want to bring, how soft you are in coverage, how much you're willing to give up.
Well, Todd, I'd let Seth Russell run all he wants. I just don't want him to beat me with the big play down the field with his arm.
You saw Chris Callahan, if you're thinking about Baylor, his career long is 46 yards. So we'll keep an eye on that target line. Here's Russell running outside. He'll get out of bounds after he has the first down. Edwin Freeman forced him out. Gain of 10.
Wow, there was a hold on that play. Malik Jefferson got held right here. He's trying to get out there. He gets yanked by the collar. They don't normally miss those on the edge.
Russell trying to run out of the pressure, and he's swung around and swung down by Freeman.
Yeah, I don't get it. You're not going to get where you need to go running the quarterback at this juncture.
No timeouts, 24 seconds left. Russell's playing out there by himself, and the football pops free. Picked up by Malik Jefferson to seal the deal for Texas.
Malik Jefferson has been much maligned. He was benched for this game by Charlie Strong as a motivational tactic. And in the biggest moment in this game, Malik Jefferson has made back-to-back plays and seals it for the Longhorns.
And there are no flags.
These officials are talking, confirming.
The ruling on the field was that there was forward progress before the quarterback threw the ball. It's fourth down. Please put 17 seconds on the clock. 1-7.
And that's going to stand, folks. That is not reviewable.
Wow, there's desperation there from Seth Russell. But let's move forward.
Charlie Strong has to be thinking, what else can go wrong here? Here's K.D. Cannon down the sideline.
Well, all this did was set up a one Hail Mary opportunity.
2 seconds left.
They're going to make, we've been here a while in this game. They're going to make Texas play every second of this game to get the win.
We had an untimed down at the end of the first quarter.
The previous play is under further review.
Of course it is.
This entire game is under review.
Look at Malik Jefferson. Oh. Okay, what could we be possibly reviewing here? Third down play, throw it out here to K.D. Cannon, and they're checking to see, I guess, if he got the first down. But it doesn't matter at this point. There's only one play left in the game.
2 seconds left on the clock. And Baylor's season, in terms of the playoffs, Zama, you can still have a great season, but if they want to make it to the college football playoff, losing here today would be a crusher.
Well, the Big 12 had a tenuous hold on a potential playoff spot as it stood.
After further review, the runner did not make the line to gain. It's fourth down.
With the loss of West Virginia already today, their grasp became even more tenuous. And now in this situation, certainly the Big 12's prayer, if this isn't complete in the end zone, will be over for the college football playoff.
Please set the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Game has featured 1,172 yards of offense, and it comes down to a final play in a one-point game, in a rivalry game. And the crowd will tell you the story. And the smile on Charlie Strong's face will as well. Texas, for at least one day, one college football Saturday, can breathe a sigh of relief and enjoy a victory. Hard fought over their rivals from Waco.
Yeah, Charlie Strong challenged his team, challenged his defense, and it wasn't all pretty, but they made enough plays in the end to win. I don't know if it's going to save Charlie Strong's job. I don't think right now he cares. He's going to enjoy this ending with his team, and there's bigger games down the road with West Virginia and TCU that certainly he'll probably need.
Todd, I can't wait to hear this interview.
Hey, Coach, lose 4 out of the previous 5 games. How important is this one to you and your players?
You know, we've just been through so much and so much criticism. Our guys battled today. It's just like how we just continue to fight the whole way through. I'm so proud of these guys.
You've been working with your defense on tackling the fundamentals and improving, and today you hold a high, potent offense at Baylor to 34. Were you pleased with the effort?
Well, very pleased. And you look at it, we came up with turnovers. We was able to get pressure on the quarterback. You know, we didn't stop the run, though, but I'm just so proud of how we just battled and just, you know, just can't say enough about this football team.
You guys were able to grind it out on the ground offensively. How big was Deontay Foreman in this one?
Oh, it's big. And, you know, we talked about needing to get 1,000 yards, and he was able to get it. And you know, he's an unbelievable player.
Congratulations on the win, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, Todd. Charlie Strong, he'll enjoy his meal, whatever he chooses to drink tonight. At least tonight he'll enjoy it.
They earned it today.
That was some kind of college football game. Started in the afternoon, wound up into the early evening. Texas knocks off 8th-ranked, previously undefeated Baylor 35-34. Make sure you tune in to ABC in the next couple of minutes for Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart. It's Clemson and Florida State. That's coming up. But for now, send you back to our studios. What a day, what a night in Austin.